Sports Network from Learfield. Mark 30 seconds until airtime. If you encounter technical issues during the broadcast, please call the North Carolina studio hotline at 336-464-1789. Station's your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark 15 seconds until airtime.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Tar Heel Sports Network. Tar Heel Baseball is on the air.
The 0-1 pitch to Gaffney. Fly ball to right field. Kepley and Bass converge. This is Bass's ball, and this is Carolina's championship. Send it into the trophy case.
Carolina Baseball is presented all season long by Hardison and Cochran. Injured and have legal questions? Call Hardison and Cochran, 919-ALL-4s. Carolina Baseball is also brought to you by Wells Fargo, official retail bank sponsor of Carolina Athletics. And by Allen Tate Realtors, the #1 realtor in the Carolinas with over 70 local offices and a proud partner of Carolina Athletics. First pitch is just moments away. Now let's go live to the broadcast booth for Carolina Baseball.
Winner take all. 3 words. 2 teams, 1 spot in the College World Series on the line between Carolina and Arizona. Alongside Matt Krause, I'm Dave Nathan, welcoming you back to Boshamer Stadium on a sunny Sunday in Game 3 of the Supers between the Tar Heels and Wildcats, who have split the first 2 matchups in very different ways. Carolina took an 18-2 decision on Friday. The Wildcats battled back down too late yesterday to claim the 10-8 decision. And today, Matt, the winner heads to the Heartland.
Plain and simple, it's a ticket to the Men's College World Series in Omaha for whoever comes out victorious in this game. For the loser, the season comes to a close. Yesterday for Arizona was a masterclass in turning the page and flushing one game, getting ready for the next one. Carolina won Game 1 of this Super 18-2 on Friday, a dominant performance that set the school record for runs in a Super Regional game, but it was Arizona who had the clutch hits yesterday, capitalized on some Carolina free passes, and the Wildcats take Game 2. Now it's winner take all in Game 3.
Carolina enters this matchup at 46-14 on the year. Arizona 43-19. And let's discuss the Wildcats and what they did at the plate yesterday, because they did some things that hadn't happened all year. Carolina allowed 10 earned runs. First time in 60 games that had happened. The 16 hits, also a season high. And for the first time all year, an opponent had every player, all starting players, get at least 1 base hit. 6 Arizona players had at least 2 hits.
Carolina lost a game started by Jake Knapp or Jason DeCaro for the first time since April the 4th. DeCaro did not make it out of the 4th inning. Walker McDuffie, who has normally been a lockdown reliever at the back end of the bullpen, came out of the pen in the 7th for what we thought might be, if all went according to plan, a 9-out save to preserve the trip to Omaha. Instead, he gives up 4 earned runs, and the Heels are here playing Game 3.
First time that the Tar Heels had lost a game with Jason DeCaro on the bump in an NCAA tournament contest. That was his 6th appearance after going unbeaten last year in the regionals, the Supers, and in Omaha. Carolina takes the field today in their Carolina blue tops, white lettering and numerals, white pants, the white ball caps, Carolina blue brims with the interlocking Carolina blue NC on the front. Arizona in the traveling grays today with the dark blue hats and the red A on the front, as Lynch will face Brendan Summerhill, Aaron Walton, and Mason White in the top half of the first inning. Adonis Guzman hits cleanup, followed by Maddox Michalakis, and then Garen Caulfield, the second baseman, hitting 6th. The bottom third of head coach Chip Hale's order consists of the DH Andrew Kane, the first baseman Tommy Splain in the 8th spot, and the left fielder Easton Breyfogle. As for Ryan Lynch, Carolina's starter, 6'3", 235-pound freshman righty out of Moorestown, New Jersey. Lynch brings a record of 5-1 into today's game, and ERA under 3. Opponents hitting .202 off of Lynch, who gets his 3rd start. The other 2 have been big. ACC title game against Clemson, elimination game last week against Oklahoma.
It's the 3rd time in as many weeks that Lynch has started a winner-take-all game. Helped Carolina win the ACC Tournament Championship 14-4 against Clemson. And then against Oklahoma just 6 days ago, pitched 5 innings, picked up the win, and the Tar Heels also 14-4 victory over the Sooners to earn their spot here in this Super Regional. And length out of Lynch will be important. Carolina utilized Aiden Houck and Walker McDuffie yesterday out of the bullpen. Lynch is by far the most trusted fresh arm for Carolina. Though Scott Forbes has said in a winner-take-all situation, quote, everyone is available. We'll see how that actually plays out as the game goes along.
Around the diamond defensively, the Tar Heels have Luke Stevenson behind the plate, Hunter Stokely at first base, Jackson Vanderbrake at second. The shortstop is Alex Madera, Gavin Gallagher at third. The outfield from left to right, Carter French, Kane Kepley, and Tyson Bass. And those 3 guys at the plate this weekend have been huge. Carter French had a career-best 4 hits yesterday. Kane Kepley swiped a couple of bases, and Tyson Bass had a 3-run homer yesterday that put Carolina up for the time being in the 7th. And what might have been in the Lower Carolina baseball for Tyson Bass if the Tar Heels keep that lead and go on to win.
Just means he's going to have to do it again, right?
Fans still finding their seats just afternoon on a Sunday for Game 3 of the Supers between Carolina and Arizona. Only Coastal Carolina has advanced to Omaha so far. For all the baseball left to be played, partner, there's 7 spots left to be filled out. 10 teams today have a chance to get to the College World Series. And we know this, one of these 2 teams will be heading that way. Here's Lynch's first pitch to the leadoff man, Summerhill. Lefty takes a fastball downstairs, and it's 1-0. Our official Rouge Jewelers first pitch time came your way at 12:06. Rouge Jewelers, your home for fine Swiss timepieces, beautiful diamonds, and the world's most luxurious jewelry brands. The second offering, swing and a fly ball to center field. Kepley trots towards right center. 2 pitches, 1 out. Summerhill flies out to begin the game, and that brings Aaron Walton to the plate. Nobody on base, no score, top of the first. Do or die between Carolina and Arizona.
Nice to see a ball get in the air off the bat of Summerhill, especially one that Kepley can make a routine play on. Arizona, over the course of this 2 games so far in the Super Regional, 26 combined hits, 22 of them have been singles. A lot of ground ball seeing eye hits.
Righty Walton at the plate takes a called strike. Lynch's fastball sitting in the mid-90s, and it's 0-1 to the .325 hitter. 14 homers, 49 RBIs. Next pitch. Slider outside all the way to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike to Walton. Lynch has a pitch mix that consists of a fastball that can touch 96. One of the best sliders on the team, and a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike in an all-righty affair. Swing and a little flare towards first base with the shift on. Stokely's the only Tar Heel on that side of the diamond. He jogs over on the dirt between first and second to make the routine play. 2 away for the Wildcats in the top of the first. With no score and nobody on base, Mason White to hit for the Wildcats.
And Carolina, as they have throughout the weekend, going into the overshift with White at the plate. Heels with 3 fielders on the right side of the infields. Now Alex Madera backs up a little bit behind the second base bag.
White's a lefty, wags the bat, leaves it on his shoulder, takes a strike at the letters. 0-1 to the junior, hitting .333. Leads Arizona and hits with 82, homers with 19, and he's also driven in 70. The 0-1 from Lynch. Whacked foul into the netting. That'll draw an applause from the Carolina dugout and the rest of these fans packing Boshemer Stadium. No balls and 2 strikes, the count to White. 2 down in the top of the first, no score between the Heels and Wildcats. Lynch sets to fire. Fastball high, taken for a ball, 1-2. Guzman in the on-deck circle for Arizona if things continue in the top of the first. If not, the Heels to hit in the home half of 1. Here come those claps and those cheers. The 1-2. Scorched foul again into the netting near the Heels dugout third base side. It remains a 1 ball, 2 strike count to White. Summerhill flied out to Kepley in right center field. Walton just popped out to Stokely over at first. We'll do it again. The 1-2 from Carolina's righty. Look out in the Arizona dugout. Scalded foul up against the face of the visiting dugout. It rolls down the warning surface towards the U of A bullpen. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes as Lynch and White battle in the top of the first. Next offering. Lifted foul left side towards the seats, and 3/4 of the way up. Turns into a souvenir.
Lynch has been working with a lot of fastballs. The previous foul ball, which was scorched off the Arizona dugout on the first base side, that was off a slider at 84. Went back to the fastball at 94.
Tar Heels with 3 infielders between first and second base as Lynch delivers the 1-2. Just inside. That was a 94-mile-per-hour heater. Levels the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Wildcat shortstop. Mason White 2 for 8 so far in the Supers. He scored 2 runs yesterday in the Arizona 10-8 win. The 2-2. That'll end the inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Lynch and his mates get off the field. The powerful freshman retires the Wildcats in order. Summerhill flies out, Walton pops out, and White strikes out. We go to the Carolina half of the first. No score. And Game 3 of the Supers is Tar Heel baseball from Learfield.
Touchdown! On game day, there's nothing like tailgating, touchdowns, and Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea goes down smooth and tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Cool, refreshing, and a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Hey Tar Heel fans, this is Dave Nathan, here to remind you that revenue generated from the sale of officially licensed Tar Heel merchandise directly supports both need and merit-based scholarships for Carolina students. Next time you're shopping for your favorite Tar Heel gear, make sure to look for the officially licensed collegiate product label before you buy. This ensures the product has been approved by the university. Be blue and true, buy licensed, fund scholarships, and go Heels.
Today's first inning temperature is brought to you by B&T Heating and Air Conditioning. B&T Heating and Air Conditioning, family owned and doing it right the first time, every time. 84 degrees and cloudy. The feel is hot, sticky, and intense. Game 3 of the Supers between Carolina and Arizona goes to the home half of 1 with no score. The Tar Heels come to the plate with Kane Kepley, Jackson Vanderbrake, and Luke Stevenson, followed by the cleanup hitter Gavin Gallagher. Hunter Stokely and Alex Madera round out the middle third of the order. Then it's Tyson Bass hitting 7th. The DH Sam Angelo hits 8th, and Carter French in the 9-hole. That's today's starting lineup presented by Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose chill and official beer of your North Carolina Tar Heels. Celebrate responsibly. When Carolina's at the plate, they'll see Smith Bailey on the mound. 6'4", 194-pound freshman righty out of Peoria, Arizona. Bailey's 3-3 on the season. 10th best ERA in the Big 12, just under 4. Opponents hitting .268 off the Wildcat hurler.
And he's pitched well of late. Has gone 5 1/3 or more in each of his last 4 starts. Started against TCU in the Big 12 championship game. 6 shutout frames against Cal Poly in the regional final last week. 5-pitch guy, 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, slider, curveball, and change for the Big 12 all-freshman team selection, the righty Smith Bailey.
So here's Kepley, the lefty, at the plate, batting .291. First pitch sinks inside, and it's a ball and no strikes. The Tar Heels center fielder hit his 3rd home run of the season in the first matchup between these two on Friday. He's driven in 30. Third baseman Mikalakis plays on the grass as the second pitch runs across the heart of the plate. That's taken for a strike, and it's 1-1 as the fastball touches 94 out of the right hand of Smith Bailey, getting his 17th start of the season. The 1-1. Flared to left in the sky. Bryfogel's back. He's got it. And there's one down. Still no score between Carolina and Arizona. In the bottom half of the first, nobody aboard for Jackson Vanderbrake, a .306 hitter. 7 home runs, 55 RBIs. With Mikalakis at third base, Mason White the shortstop, Garen Caulfield at second. They've all shifted around to the left side. Tommy Splain the only defender on the right side of the infield. First pitch to Vandy. That's a swing and a miss on a high fastball. 0-1 to the Heels second baseman. Adonis Guzman behind the plate catching for Arizona. Breyfogle, as we mentioned, in left field. The center fielder is Aaron Walton. Brendan Summerhill out on the sunlight and right. The 0-1. Another strike call at the knees. 0-2 to Vanderbrake. Wind is blowing in from center. Lights haven't popped on yet here at the Bosch, but plenty of natural daylight at 12:15. The 0-2. Outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Kepley just retired on a fly ball to left. Stevenson in the on-deck circle. Nobody on base in a scoreless game. Bottom of 1 between Carolina and Arizona. The 1-2. Fastball inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. These are 2 true freshmen on the bump with 2 live arms, Matt Krause.
2 freshman righties who both started conference championship games, who both started regional championship games, and now somehow an even bigger assignment for the duo.
The 2-2. Left it low and outside. 3-2 to Vanderbrake, who's taken walk after walk after walk this series. He walked 3 consecutive times to begin Friday's game and took 4 free passes yesterday. He awaits the payoff pitch. And he laid off strike 3. Good breaking ball by Bailey. Punches out Vanderbrake for the second out of the inning. That's Bailey's 73rd strikeout on the season, up against just 27 free passes. Keeps the traffic clear on the base paths. It brings Stevenson to the plate with 2 down in the first. 0-0 between Arizona and Carolina as the infield swings back around to the right side with Carolina's lefty catcher due up next.
Very small sample size, but Bailey has by far the best command of any Arizona starter we've seen this weekend.
Initial offering to Stevenson is a changeup, and it's down the middle for a strike. 0-1 on the take. Stevenson's average at .256, but he leads the team with 19 homers. He's also driven in 58. The 0-1. Another called strike. Running over the inner half. 0-2 as Kevin Sweeney calls the balls and strikes today. Wilson Rayner down the line at first. The second base umpire is John Brammer. Mark Wagers left of the line at third. The 0-2. Stevenson takes a swing, got underneath it. Towering fly ball to medium range right field. Summerhill calls off the second baseman Caulfield, and he makes a nervy catch off his left shoulder for the third and final out of the first inning. Both teams retired in order in the first. We go to the second, looking for runs on a Sunday here in June in the Super Regionals. Chapel Hill the backdrop, the Tar Heels and Wildcats the contestants. It's Tar Heel baseball from Learfield.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Tar Heel Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
Quality, affordable, dependable. The characteristics that have built the foundation for B&T Heating and Air Conditioning since opening its doors in 1988. B&T Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to serve communities across the Raleigh-Durham area from right here in Chapel Hill to anywhere in between. To schedule your heating, whole house generator, or electrical service or tune-up, visit their website at bntheatingandair.com. B&T Heating and Air Conditioning, generators and electrical. Family owned and doing it right the first time, every time.
Carolina Home Runs are presented by Lowe's Foods, supporting home plate since 1954. Visit your local Lowe's Foods to find a different type of grocery store worthy of their Carolina roots. Dave Nathan and Matt Krause welcoming you back to Chapel Hill for Super Regional Baseball between Carolina and Arizona. Must-win game for both teams. One advances to the College World Series. After an inning, 0-0. Wildcats at the plate in the top half of the second with the cleanup hitter Adonis Guzman, followed by Maddox Michalakis, and then the second baseman Garen Caulfield. And to that point, Matt, about the home runs, the Tar Heels have clocked 6 of them out of the park this weekend, while Arizona has singled time and again. 14 of the Wildcats' 16 hits yesterday were singles.
Station-to-station baseball for Arizona throughout the weekend. Wildcats now posted 4 consecutive games of double-digit hits. And the man coming to the plate to begin the second is a big reason why Adonis Guzman has had a hot bat out of the cleanup spot.
He was 4 for 4 in game 1, 1 for 2 yesterday, so 5 for 6 in the series. 1 run scored, 2 driven in. He leads off the second with no score. Ryan Lynch kicks and fires. There's a ground ball right side. Stokely lays out on dirt, dives, gets to it, stands up, underhands to Lynch, covering first base. That is an eventful 1 pitch and 1 out for Carolina in the field. Stokely to Lynch, and Guzman retired.
Those are some of the plays that Carolina just wasn't able to make the last couple of days, and it's not a knock on the Tar Heel defense. The ground balls just found holes. That one didn't. Stokely sacrifices his body. Lynch does well to get over and cover, and Ryan Lynch has retired the first 4 that he's faced.
Here's a lefty, Michalakis, next up at the plate. Takes a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. To the third baseman, batting .283, 5 home runs, 35 RBIs. Michalakis out of Hopkins, Minnesota, just west of Minneapolis if you check your maps. The 1-0. Slashed foul the other way. 1 ball and 1 strike to Michalakis as Stokely, the first Tar Heel to get his jersey dirty today. In about 3 hours, I'm guessing, Daniel Wilkerson and the boys in the equipment room are going to have a job to do. This could be a messy game on the field. The 1-1. Just outside of the lefty. 2-1, and by messy, I mean there's going to be bodies throwing themselves all over the ball field by any means necessary to get this one done, as there's no score in the second. 1 down for the Wildcats, and the 2-1 pitch from the righty Lynch to the lefty Michalakis popped up left side, foul territory. Gallagher checks the wall, runs out of room, and the ball 6 rows up in the seats.
There's going to be a lot of dirt, a lot of sweat all over those uniforms. Maybe some blood, probably some tears by the time this one's over. I just hope those are happy tears if you're a Tar Heel.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Michalakis. He was 2 for 5 on Saturday with 3 runs driven in. The 2-2. Never looked good out of the hand of Lynch. Missed outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Michalakis. Caulfield up next. Guzman just retired on the ground ball to the right side. Nothing in the second between the Heels and Cats. With the shift on for the lefty, Lynch gets into his motion. Fly ball to right. Bass on the run towards the line. Sets up on the green grass in fair territory and records the out on those vertical stripes cut into Bryson Field. The grounds crew has this place in fine shape for the biggest game of the season, as there's now 2 outs in the second, and Caulfield to hit for the Wildcats. No score again between the Heels and Arizona.
Lynch is inducing weak contact. Both of the fly balls off the bat of Summerhill to begin the game, and that one off the bat of Michalakis. Relatively easy routine plays for Carolina outfielders.
Caulfield, a righty at the plate, takes the first pitch fastball up and in. 1-0 to the .262 hitter. Caulfield has launched 7 home runs this year and driven in 42. He's hit safely in both games so far in the Supers. The 1-0. Pop foul behind us. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Caulfield. He's hit safely in his last 4 after going 0 for 2 in the first matchup in the NCAA tournament against Cal Poly. Arizona's offense kept under wraps in that game, but found a way to win 3-2. The 1-1. Slider. Or was that the fastball? Whatever it was brought back over the outside corner by Stevenson. And Cool Hand Luke wins a strike for his pitcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Arizona second baseman. It's got the Tar Heel fans back into it. The 1-2 pulled down the line to left. Ball's got some carry. Down the line and over the wall. Just right of the pole. That's a home run. And Caulfield puts Arizona out in front of the Tar Heels 1-0 in the second on a rope just over the 335 sign.
Well, after Lynch went with the fastball at 94 that Stevenson brought back over the outer edge for a strike, he went to the slider. That one was at 83, and it caught too much of the plate. Garen Caulfield, the launch angle on that one is not going to win you many awards, but it sneaks just inside the foul pole. And for the 3rd consecutive day, Arizona strikes first.
Just the 3rd home run that Lynch has allowed this year. The 8th hit by Caulfield. That brings Kane to the plate. Lefty DH takes a high fastball, 1-0. There's 2 down in the second. Arizona leads Carolina 1-0. Nobody on for the 238 hitter. The 1-0. Outside. 2-0. I think the game right now for Lynch is to make sure that last AB doesn't beat you for the rest of this inning.
I think that's what ultimately did in Jason DeCaro yesterday, Dave. He was finding a rhythm before he gave up that solo homer to Splain, but then couldn't mentally recover from it, ran out of gas.
The 2-0. Fly ball to center. Kepley extends both arms, calls off French, reaches up, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. The Tar Heels get off the field, but Arizona strikes for the game's first run. Caulfield's 2-out dinger makes it 1-0 Wildcats. As Gallagher, Stokely, and Madera, the 4, 5, and 6 spots, come to the plate in the bottom half of the second in Game 3 of the Supers. Arizona's got the early advantage on Carolina. It's 1-0 Wildcats from Learfield.
A lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcast rights granted by the University of North Carolina. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of North Carolina and Learfield.
If you're looking to refresh your Carolina gear, I've got just the place for you. It's the new Tar Heel team store located at 120 East Franklin Street. Mention the code Carolina Baseball and receive 10% off your purchase. Exclusions apply. The Tar Heels to the plate in the bottom half of the second. Arizona with a 1-0 lead on Garen Caulfield's 2-out homer down the left field line. That's the difference in today's matchup, with Gavin Gallagher set to lead off for the Tar Heels from the right side against Smith Bailey, the freshman righty for U of A. First pitch, there's a line drive, but right to the shortstop, Mason White. Gallagher's gotten his licks in. So far in the postseason, he was 13 for 18 in the regionals, and now 5 for 11 in the Supers. He barreled that up and hit it right to the shortstop for the first out of the inning.
Scouting, scouting, scouting. These assistant coaches especially work countless hours behind the scenes to prepare for moments like that.
Stokely next up. He's a lefty, and he takes inside 1-0. Big infield shift with the second baseman Caulfield playing about 10 yards back on the right center field grass. The first baseman Splain back on the dirt near the line. The shortstop, White, right at the bag at second. As the next pitch settles low, Stokely checked his swing. It's a ball, and it's 2-0 to the big cat from out of Wilson. Stokely's average, .323, 14 homers, 65 RBIs. Bailey's next offering. High and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Mikalakis, the only line of defense halfway between between second and third on the dirt of Bryson Field. The 3-0 called a strike on the severe outside corner. 3-1 to Carolina's first baseman with 1 down in the bottom of the second. Arizona leads 1-0. Next pitch. And that's inside, ball 4. Stokely earns the 5-pitch walk. First free pass issued by Bailey. The 28th he's surrendered on the season. That's Carolina's first base runner. And it brings Alex Madera to the plate with 1 out and 1 on. In the bottom of the second, the Tar Heels down a run. Arizona 1, Carolina 0. Caulfield's home run just past the 335 sign down the line and left, right of the yellow pole, the margin in today's must-have game. Here's the initial offering to Madera. Off speed, low and inside, and a good take by the heel shortstop, 1-0. Infield sets up a little more traditionally with the first baseman Splain holding the runner, the third baseman Mikalakis in on the infield grass. Next pitch sails wide, it's 2-0. Middle infield at double play depth, and double play ball is something that has played big for Arizona this year, partner. 54 turned, top 10 in the country.
Had 2 of them yesterday, one a fly ball double play, one a ground ball double play.
Throw over to first base has Stokely back on the bag. Stokes 4 for 4 in swipes this year, but I wouldn't surmise he's going to get too far off the bag. The 2-0 to Madera, swiped foul. 2-1 to the second-year Tar Heel. Played in the D3 ranks at Arcadia for the first stretch of his career before coming to Carolina last year, looking to make a return trip to Omaha in his final season. 1-0 Wildcats in the second. The Tar Heels have a runner at first with one down. The 2-1 is high. 3-1. Bailey having trouble commanding the fastball and locating the off-speed stuff. Throw back over to first. Stokely's over there in plenty of time. Coach Jackson's got his hands on his knees on the front right part of the first base coach's box. Coach Forbes well left of the third base coach's box. Takes a similar posture. The 3-1 to the lefty at the plate. Low for ball 4. That pushes Stokely to second. Madera jogs down to first. The Tar Heels may have a little something brewing in the second. Down a run. And the Bass master, Tyson Bass, next up for Carolina.
Important for Carolina to have an answer for Arizona right here. Yesterday, we didn't realize it at the time, but Carolina loading the bases on walks and not being able to score in the first wound up looming large as the game went along.
Bailey with a long look to second base before the pitch to Bass. Above the letters, ball 1. Bass stroked his 11th home run yesterday. He's driven in 47. The average sits at 297. And here comes the game's first mound meeting. Arizona wants to chat things over on the bump.
Kevin Vance, the pitching coach, making his way out to talk to Bailey. Bailey's command looked sharp. Even talked about it there in the first inning. And then here in this second, he gave up that sharply hit ball off the bat of Gallagher. And we were talking about scouting. Gallagher did everything right there. He barreled that ball up, but Arizona had it scouted so well that the line drive went exactly where the shortstop White was stationed. And really, ever since giving up that hard contact, Bailey has tried to nibble a little bit, tried to throw some first pitch off-speed stuff, and has not had that same command that he did in the first inning.
Bailey retired the first 4 that he faced. The last 2 have taken walks. Stokely's at second base. Madera's at first. The Wildcats nurse a slim 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second as we get back to business. The 1-0 pitch to Bass. Low and outside. 2-0 to the first-year Tar Heel, who was at North Carolina Wesleyan for the previous 4 years. He's a Tar Heel this season, and Carolina happy to have him. The 2-0. Up and in. 3-0. Fans here are going bananas. Carolina blue pom-poms and shakers. Tons of noise ringing around Bessemer Stadium on a hot Sunday in June. The 3-0. Bass takes a strike. There's the fastball on the inside corner. 3-1. Bailey's still in the game. The Tar Heels, though, trying to get to the freshman here early. A peek to second base before the 3-1 to the righty at the plate. Bass takes strike 2 on the outer half. And the count is full with Angelo and the on-deck circle for the Tar Heels, who trail Arizona 1-0 in the bottom of the second. 2 on and 1 down. The payoff pitch. Bass pops that up foul behind the dish. and it disappears. Still 3-2.
Chip Hale, the head coach of the Wildcats, when asked about Smith Bailey and him getting the ball in this winner-take-all game, said, you know, there will be some butterflies. He is a freshman, but he's pitched in big games, and they're trusting him.
Another payoff pitch, and Bass, a ground ball to short. It's hoovered up and scooped to Caulfield. The throw to first is in time, and Arizona turns its 55th double play on the season and gets off the field. The Tar Heels can't turn those 2 walks into any sort of offense. And we go to the third, still 1-0 in favor of Arizona from Learfield.
You sit in traffic now, but later, there's an ice-cold reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. You've earned this rich golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. Because you know, all your patience is paid out in gold. You remain calm through honks, bumper to bumper, and people yelling. Come on, move! You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
If you're worried about your rights after suffering an injury, getting peace of mind is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Pick up your phone and dial 919 all fours, or go to lawyernc.com. We'll listen to your story and answer all of your questions during a stress-free discussion of your rights. Finally, if we feel like we can help, we'll offer you representation, and the best thing, it costs you absolutely nothing to learn more. We're ready for your call.
Hardison and Cochran, North Carolina personal injury attorneys, 919 all fours.
Carolina Baseball is presented all season long by Hardison and Cochran. Injured and have legal questions? Call Hardison and Cochran, 919 all fours.
Modelo is proud to sponsor Carolina Baseball. Modelo, an official beer of your North Carolina Tar Heels. At home in Boshamer Stadium. Heading to the top of the third, Arizona 1, Carolina 0. The Wildcats powered a home run out of the ballpark in the second. The Tar Heels got 2 aboard via the walk in the bottom of 2 with 1 down, but Tyson Bass's 6-4-3 double play ball ends the threat, and U of A still leads Carolina 1-0 in the top of 3 with Splain, Breyfogle, and Summerhill due up. That's the 8, 9, and 1 spots in head coach Chip Hale's Sunday lineup. Splain, a righty, hits .294 this campaign, 5 dingers, 25 RBIs. Lynch's first pitch, that's a strike over the inner half, and the fastball starts off Splain 0-1. Heels play with 2 defenders on either side of second base, outfield at regular depth. The 0-1, right down Franklin Street. That's a strike, and it's 0-2 to Splain. Spent his younger years in Los Gatos, California, near San Francisco, where Netflix is headquartered. The 0-2. Slider drifted outside. Splain gave it a long look, but it's ball 1. 1-2.
Is Splain still watching? Yes, he is, but it was outside.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Back to the slider. Lynch gets his man. Second strikeout of the game for the Tar Heel freshman. And the first out of the third. Lynch put that right where he wanted it. Breyfogle up next to the plate, hitting 9th. When the top of the third, 1 down for the Wildcats, nobody on. Arizona leads Carolina 1-0. Lynch delivers. Another strike on the outer half. These mid-90s fastballs have gotten Lynch off to a good start more times than not.
Come out pumping strikes.
Second pitch to the lefty Breyfogle. Clang foul up against the net. And it's 0-2 to the Arizona left fielder. Breyfogle, one of 2 Wildcats from Minnesota. Mikalakis the other. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. The slider handcuffed the lefty. And it's 3 Ks in the game for Lynch. 2 down in the third. The lineup turns over to Summerhill with our score still reading 1-0 in favor of Arizona.
Pretty productive first trip through the order for Ryan Lynch. 3 strikeouts, did give up the 1 home run to Garen Caulfield. But even the Caulfield homer wasn't particularly well struck. The solid contact has not been there for Arizona. We'll see about the second time through.
Pitch to Summerhill. Squashed foul the other way and over the seat's left side. Nothing in one to the right fielder who flied out to Kepley when today's game began a little more than a half hour ago. We're in the third. 2 down, bases clear. Arizona 1, Carolina nothing. Second pitch. Dots the outside corner. 0-2. The count to Summerhill. Tar Heels play Summerhill straight up as Lynch kicks and fires. Soft ground ball, hops once to Stokely. 3 unassisted. That's the inning. Lynch has responded after serving up the home run ball to Caulfield. 4 in a row set down. And we go to the bottom half of the third. Angelo, French, Kepley, the 8, 9, and 1 spots do it for the Tar Heels, who trail the Arizona Wildcats 1-0. It is a Super Regional Sunday in Chapel Hill, the winner to Omaha from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Today's broadcast is presented by Allen Tate Realtors. Whether you're buying, selling, or staying in your current home, Allen Tate can help. Get a home physical scheduled today. Allen Tate Realtors is the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas and a proud partner of Carolina Athletics. Along with Matt Krause, I'm Dave Nathan. We are your proud Carolina broadcasters in Game 3 of the Supers. Carolina at the plate in the bottom of the third, trailing Arizona 1-0. Carolina took Game 1 18-2. Arizona came back and won yesterday 10-8 in a game that featured 6 lead changes, partner. Yesterday was back and forth throughout. We'll see if the script unfolds in similar fashion today. Here's the first pitch to Angelo. DH from the left side takes a strike on the breaking ball. 0-1 to the Toms River, New Jersey product, whose average has surged up to 248. 6 homers, 22 RBIs, as he swings and pelts a long fly ball deep to right field. It is foul by a couple of feet near the 340 sign. Reminiscent of another long foul ball he had late last week against Oklahoma. And Angelo, huffing and puffing, adjusting his eyeglasses, comes back to the left side. Behind him the count, 0-2.
That got the Boshamer Stadium crowd loud in a hurry. Hooked foul just before reaching the fence, down by the 340 marker and right. Now down in the count, 0-2.
Bailey from the first base side of the rubber fires a high fastball, taken 1 ball and 2 strikes to Angelo, who leads off the bottom of the third. Arizona up a run, 1-0. French in the on-deck circle. Then it's Kane Kepley for Coach Forbes' bunch. Here's the 1-2. Off speed, that's hit on the ground hard, but foul at first base. It remains a ball and 2 strikes to Angelo, who was 5 for 13 in the regionals with 2 homers in the first matchup against OU. So far in this series, Angelo 3 for 10 with 2 dingers and 5 driven in. The 1-2. And the fastball from Bailey beats Angelo for strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for the Arizona freshman. And there's 1 down in the third. Carter French next up. Our score still sits at Arizona 1 and Carolina 0.
Even with Angelo striking out there, the production from the bottom of the order, Angelo's power surge, French's singles barrage, such a critical reason why Carolina has piled up the runs of late.
Here's Carter French, who piled up a career-best 4 base hits yesterday. Lefty takes a called strike on the inside corner. This is a pitcher-friendly strike zone to this point in the game. Lynch and Bailey enjoying these calls as French falls behind 0-1. The second offering to the lefty. High and away with the breaker. 1-1 to the Tampa product. French, after that 4-for-5 outing yesterday, has seen his average jolt up to 278. Still hasn't homered this year, but has driven in 12. He awaits the 1-1. Swings and bounces it towards Coach Jackson in the first base coach's box. That's foul, and it's 1-2 to the Tar Heel left fielder.
Scott Forbes will tell you even now that Carter French is in the starting lineup primarily for his defense in left field, but his ability to hit for contact and hit for average is just a added bonus.
The 1-2. French line shot into center field, and that is down in front of Walton. Carolina's got its first base hit, and Carter French continues to mash. 5 for his last 6 in the last game and change. The Tar Heels have a one-out base runner. Down 1-0 in the third. The lineup turns over to the Lion King, Kane Kepley. Such an interesting split screen. Kepley always goes into a crouch position before he comes to hit while the fans rise up and hold those plush dolls over their heads as there's a throw over to first base. French is back in time safely. Kepley 0 for 1 with a fly out to his center field counterpart, Walton, back in the first. Bailey delivers. A strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to the Liberty transfer. Second team All-ACC. Could be a high-round draft pick in another month. The 0-1. Kepley swings and bashes a single back through the middle. It's through to center field, and the Tar Heels go station to station. French to second, Kepley at first. Back-to-back singles for the folks in Carolina blue, and that brings Jackson Vanderbrake to the plate with one down in a 1-0 game led by Arizona. And the bottom of 3, the Tar Heels are getting some swings in.
Felt like Carolina had Smith Bailey teetering a bit last inning with the back-to-back walks. The inning-ending double play got him out of trouble, built more momentum with the strikeout of Angelo following the long foul ball. But now back-to-back base hits, and Jackson Vanderbrake begins a pretty good part of the order that you want up in this situation.
Vandy 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Takes the first pitch curveball over the inside corner, and it's 0-1 to the Heels' second baseman. Arizona got the game's only run on a 2-out homer down the left field line in the second, win the third. French at second, Kepley at first, 1 away for the Heels. The 0-1 from Bailey to Vanderbrake. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bailey hasn't faced this kind of game pressure in the NCAA tournament. His last outing against Cal Poly lasted 6 innings. His team won 14-0. The 1-1. Vanderbrake had a pitch to hit. Flies it foul the other way and over the vacant Arizona bullpen. A ball and 2 strikes. So if we're to gain any insight into what Arizona thinks of Bailey, they're going to stick with him. There was a mound meeting last inning. Traffic on the base pass now, but still nobody warming up in a must-have game. The winner goes to the College World Series. A peek to second base before the 1-2 to the plate. And Vanderbrake smacks that to left. That's on a rope. That is gone. Vanderbrake with a Vanda smack over the head of Breyfogle, and the Tar Heels take a 3-1 lead in Game 3 of the Supers. In the bottom half of the third, these 3-run homers are growing on trees, partner.
Yet another one over the course of this weekend. 3 of them on Friday, 1 yesterday, now 1 today.
No matter the home run, they're presented by Lowe's Food, supporting home plate since 1954. Bailey serves up his 8th homer of the year as Stevenson foul tips the first pitch to fall behind 0-1. Vanderbrake sends his 8th ball over the fence this year. He's now got 58 RBIs And most importantly, Carolina's got a 3-1 lead over Arizona in the third with one down. Here's the 0-1 to the lefty. And Stevenson grounds to second with the shift on. Caulfield scoops it up on the outfield grass. Soft toss to first. 2 away. Gallagher next up to the plate. Gallagher hit a hard line drive to short when he let off the second. We're in the third. 3-1 Carolina. All the offense has come via the long ball. Garen Caulfield hit a solo shot for Arizona in the second. Vandebreek's 3-run homer has put the Heels ahead in the third. Bailey fires to Gallagher. A curveball popped up to shallow left. 3 Wildcats give chase. This is the shortstop, White, near the line, out in the sunlight, in fair territory to glove it for the inning's final out. The Tar Heels get consecutive one-out singles from French and Kepley. The table was set for Vandebreek. He cleared the table, and he cleared the bases with a 3-run homer. 3 innings complete from Chapel Hill. We're on to the fourth. Tar Heels 3, Wildcats 1. We're in the Supers. Omaha waits the winner from Learfield.
Need to refresh your UNC gear? Visit the new off-campus Tar Heel Team Store located at 120 East Franklin Street in the heart of Chapel Hill. Open Tuesday through Sunday, we offer an enhanced in-person shopping experience and carry the latest designs from Nike, Jordan, Peter Millar, and more. Stop by for an official Nike replica jersey with your favorite Tar Heels name and number. The Tar Heel Team Store is your one-stop shop for all things UNC. Mention code Carolina Baseball and receive 10% off your purchase. Exclusions apply.
When you're getting ready for the big game, make sure you have plenty of Hampton Farms peanuts on hand. Hampton Farms is based in North Carolina, just like the Tar Heels, and they specialize in producing only the highest quality, fresh roasted, in-the-shell peanuts and snacks. In addition, peanuts are one of the healthiest snacks around. They are naturally low in carbs and high in protein. So before the next game, head to your favorite store's produce department and grab a bag of Hampton Farms in-the-shell peanuts, the official peanuts of the Tar Heels.
We are on to the fourth, presented by Hardison and Cochran. Injured and have legal questions, call Hardison and Cochran at 919 all fours. The Tar Heels have a 2-run lead, 3-1. Jackson Vandebreek's 3-run homer has helped the Tar Heels to the early advantage. The Wildcats bring Walton, White, and Guzman, the 2, 3, and 4 spots to the plate. Ryan Lynch has some run support. Do one of these teams today want to hold a lead when yesterday it was essentially a tennis match with the lead going back and forth throughout the course of the game?
And if that does happen to occur again today, Carolina is the home team. They will always get the chance to answer.
Lynch, through 3 innings, has fired 37 pitches, 26 for strikes, as Walton waits from the right side. There's another strike on the outer half. 0-1 to the center fielder who popped out to Stokely in the first. We start the fourth with the Tar Heels up 3-1. The 0-1. Grounded foul. Left of the line on the dirt, now on the artificial surface. 0-2 to Walton as Gallagher got over to it and serves it back into the Tar Heels dugout. Vandebreek at second base on the center field grass behind the bag. The shift plays for the righty Walton, who awaits the 0-2. Flares it towards the right side. Stokely is jogging back in foul territory, and he makes the catch, straddling the green artificial surface and the brown warning surface right near the bricks for the first out of the fourth. Stokely's a big guy. He's got quick feet, and he makes the play. 1 down in the fourth for Arizona.
Make it 5 in a row set down by Lynch since surrendering the homer, and more weak contact on balls in the air. Arizona is not barreling up pitches from Lynch the way they have throughout the weekend.
This is White now from the left side. First pitch. Dinged foul. 0-1 to the Arizona shortstop, who was Lynch's first strikeout victim when he ended the first. We're in the fourth. 1 away, nobody on. Heels up 3-1. The 0-1. Big swing and a fly ball into shallow left. French got a late jump on it. Can he recover? The answer is yes. He waited and waited and waited to find that ball. The backdrop today upstairs has got plenty of cloud cover. no blue pockets that we can see over Bryson Field. Fortunately, French has got some fast wheels because once he sought out the baseball, he had to rush in to claim out number 2.
It's one of those days where it's a bright cloud cover up above. Heavy, puffy clouds in bunches, but still looks fairly sunny down on the field. That's a tough sky for outfielders.
Guzman at the plate from the right side. He takes a strike. And it's 0-1 to the Arizona catcher, who grounded out to the right side when he let off the second. Heels up 3-1 in the fourth. 2 down, bases clear. Second pitch, popped up right side, sailing towards the seats. Stokely gave it a look, gave it a chase, but it's out of his reach. 0-2 to Guzman. Top 50 national prospect out of New York. Began his career at Boston College. The only Wildcat that's ever faced Carolina before this series got started. The 0-2. Just missed with the fastball outside. Gallagher went into a deep knee bend down the line at third like he had about 400 pounds squatted on his shoulders. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The inning continues. Lynch with his right foot on the rubber. Comes set. Delivers. A slider wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Arizona backstop. Not much wind to speak of on another hot and heavy day in Chapel Hill. Carolina with a 3-1 lead on Arizona in the fourth. The 2-2. Banged up against the net in front of us. Foul. Lynch's fastball still sitting at 94. Kid's got a ton of velo. That's how they raise him in Morristown, New Jersey. Pitch clock ticking down near 10 seconds. The 2-2 on the way. Another big fastball. That's at 96, and it runs the count full to Guzman. Michalakis waiting in the wings as Lynch and the Tar Heels try to get off the field. 1-2-3 for the third time today. The payoff pitch and an all-righty showdown. Outside and ball 4. Couldn't get those last 2 fastballs to register. And Arizona's got a man aboard. That ends the string of 6 in a row set down by Lynch. It's also the freshman's first free pass of the ball game. Gives him 25 on the season, up against 71 strikeouts.
Walked a couple against Oklahoma on Monday. Now the key for Lynch, retire Michalakis and make it not hurt you.
Michalakis, a lefty, 0 for 1 of the flyout. Stands ready as Lynch gives him a pitch to hit, and he blasts it into right center field. Bass caught off by Keplitz, the center fielder, running in to make the play. And after the walk, just 1 pitch to Michalakis ends the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left stranded. Our score still sits at Carolina 3, Arizona 1. Stokely, Madera, and Bass to the plate for Carolina when we come back in the home half of the fourth and Super Regional game number 3 between the Heels and Wildcats from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son Ricky took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Carolina Baseball Grounds Crew is presented by Brown Brothers Plumbing and Heating, serving the community since 1933. Our family is here to keep your family comfortable. Count on the team that the Tar Heels trust with Brown Brothers Plumbing and Heating. You can trust us, Dave Nathan and Matt Krause, for all of your Carolina baseball needs. Heels to the plate in the home half of the fourth. It's a 3-1 advantage for Carolina over Arizona, and before Hunter Stokely leads off, We are right at the top of the hour, so let's pause 10 seconds for a station ID on the Tar Heel Sports Network. Carolina 3, Arizona 1. We start the bottom of the fourth with Bailey on the mound and Stokely at the plate. First pitch. Stokely slaps a line drive down the line and left and foul by about 3 feet. Right where the green and the brown meet, left of the line. Adjacent to the Heels bullpen, 0-1, and another tricky foul ball keeps the Heels off the bases. Stokely denied.
That would have been at least 2.
Stokely has reached in 25 consecutive games after taking an earlier walk. The second pitch settles in the zone for a called strike. Bailey goes off speed, and it's 0-2 to the Tar Heel first baseman. 3-1 Heels in the bottom of the fourth. The 0-2 from the righty to the lefty. Stokely pounds it into the ground, foul to his first base counterpart, Tommy Splain. Still 0-2 to Stokely. Madera on deck, then it's Tyson Bass. Not a weak spot in this Carolina order. The Tar Heels have accumulated 29 runs so far in the series and 32 hits. The 0-2. Stokely whiffs on a high fastball. Strikeout number 3 in the game for Bailey. He's K'd as many as 6 on 5 separate occasions this year. 1 away in the fourth. Madera next up. Nobody on. Heels up by a couple of runs. 3-1 as we've gotten into the middle innings.
Second straight inning that Bailey begins with a strikeout, but following the strikeout of Angelo last frame, it was 3 straight hits, including the Vandenberg 3-run homer.
Madera, a lefty at the plate, swings and drives the first pitch in the sky, foul. 0-1. The lights have popped on just after 1 o'clock. Almost like they're on some sort of a timer. Wind barely blowing the flags around in center field. A heavy heat atop the fans in Chapel Hill. The 0-1. Madera gets another swing and another foul ball lifted to the left side. Halfway up in the seats. That's a souvenir. 0-2 to the Carolina shortstop. New ball out to Bailey on the mound. The righty comes set from the first base side of the bump. The 0-2. Madera got a piece of it and stays alive. Fans atop the last row in Karen Shelton Stadium above the Tar Heels outfield fence and right. There's that cutout in right field as well that's jam-packed full of fans. The 0-2. Madera looks at ball 1 upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The rest of the seats, they're forest green when they're unoccupied. Most have fans planted in them until this one gets done. Here's the 1-2. Inside and off speed. Madera's battled back to level the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Another day where fans were lined up for the standing room only tickets outside. Got reports that the folks that were bringing their lawn chairs to the cutout area just beyond the fence and right were there as early as 7:45 this morning.
The 2-2 to Madera. Swinging a line drive. That is past second base and into right center field. Even with the shift on, Madera beats it. Carolina's got a 1-out single in the fourth for Tyson Bass. And there's a good forecast coming up in the future. All that cloud cover from earlier, it's pushing right to left as we see the game behind home plate. There are blue skies coming in. A picturesque environment is on the way in Chapel Hill. 3-1 Carolina. That's the score in the fourth. Stokely retired on strikes to begin the inning. Madera at first, held aboard by Splain. Initial offering to Bass. That's one we'll wait on. There's a throw over to first. Madera dives back in safely. 13 for 14 this year in steals is Madera. Second on the team, well behind Kane Kepley, who's got 45 steals as there's a second throw. And for a moment yesterday, we thought Kepley had 47 swipes, but those 2 late swipes, they were wiped off. He's still stuck on 45. The pitch to Bass. One hunting a high fastball. Couldn't make contact, and it's 0-1. Matt, you can provide the explanation on why Kepley had those 2 steals removed from the records.
Yeah, it was a 10-8 game, and Kepley had reached base at first in the 9th and then appeared to swipe second and then third, but no throw either time.
0-1 to Bass. Fly ball the other way to right. Summerhill charged in, now retreats, roams towards the line, and he makes the catch in fair territory for the inning's second out.
And so the official scorer utilized the discretion that scorers are given in those situations to say that those were defensive indifference. No throw. Kepley's run didn't really matter. It was the run in the batter's box, and so that is a circumstance where you can wipe that off.
Historically, Kepley moved into second place all time in the single-season record books, but he's still sitting at third after those steals were taken away.
Put that up there in the lore with this illustrious Presbyterian game. You and I are going to have a field day if that game ever gets played.
Angelo next up to the plate as Bailey throws over to first base. Madera is still safe, and our score is still 3-1 in favor of Carolina. Arizona got a 2-out solo homer in the second from Caulfield. Vanderbrake drove a 3-run homer over the left field wall in the third. That's the scoring. We reside in the fourth. The pitch to Angelo, taken by the DH downstairs, 1-0.
Similar to how Juan Soto hit a home run before his major league debut because he was inserted into the completion of a suspended game and homered in it. Game started before he made his debut.
This game will play tricks on you. The 1-0. Strike call. Over the inside corner, again the strike zone, weighing in favor of whoever is on the mound. For Arizona, it's Smith Bailey. For Carolina, it's Ryan Lynch. Quick throw to first. Madera in head first. There's another dirtied up uniform. He joins Stokely in the dirt department. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Angelo with 2 down in the inning. Madera's got to lead off the bag. Bailey from the stretch delivers, and Angelo whacks a foul ball in the sky near the seats. Out of play. It came down with a loud bang. Hope everybody's okay. 1-2 to the first-year Tar Heel.
A bang and some oohs and ahs over there.
Been a lot of noises, to say the least, around the ballpark today. Most have been good from the Carolina perspective. The 1-2 to the lefty. Angelo takes a hack and fouls it back. Some more baseballs brought out to our home plate umpire, Kevin Sweeney. One pocket guy as those balls disappear into his right hip. Umpires look like Tar Heels today with the Carolina blue tops and the gray pants. How about a throwback over to first to keep Madera honest? He's brutally honest and still brutally safe. You can trust Ahmad to give it to you like it is. Shift on with the second baseman Caulfield back on the right field grass. The 1-2 to Angelo, waited on that, drives a liner to right, but right at Summerhill, who grabs it to end the inning. You have to like the way the Tar Heels are swinging the bats. A quick inning in the fourth that goes no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. The fifth inning is right around the corner with the Tar Heels holding a 3-1 lead on Arizona. Game 3 of the Supers. It's in Chapel Hill, and it's for all the barbecue from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Playing baseball at the highest level requires excellent physical conditioning, and keeping your home in the best shape requires physical attention too. As a proud partner of Carolina Athletics, Allen Tate Realtors recommends a home physical. We'll determine your home's value, share the latest market trends, and recommend updates to maximize your most important investment. Whether you plan to sell or stay, be sure to cover the bases with a complimentary home physical from Allen Tate. Visit homephysical.com today.
Carolina Baseball is presented all season long by Hardison and Cochran. Injured and have legal questions? Call Hardison and Cochran, 919-ALL-4s.
In baseball, you need a great game plan. Same with your health care benefits. That's why more people trust Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, the state's most preferred health insurer. So put Blue Cross North Carolina on your team. Blue Cross North Carolina, official health insurance partner of Carolina Athletics. Dave Nathan, Matt Krause, broadcasting partners together again. Going to the fifth. Carolina 3, Arizona 1. Caulfield at the plate against Lynch for the second time. The first pitch bounced twice into the shift to Madera. On the dirt, left side, throws to first. One pitch and one out. Caulfield sat down after he homered in the second. He's 1 for 2 in the game. And the DH, Andrew Kane, next up for the folks from Tucson.
Ryan Lynch has been economical. 51 pitches now to get one out into the fifth inning. Fifth was how far he got on Monday against Oklahoma, but at the pace he's going, Carolina is going to leave him out there as long as he's doing this.
Lynch wants a new baseball. He tosses the old one into the Tar Heels dugout third base side. There's one down in the top of the fifth. Nobody on base for Arizona. The Wildcats trail the Heels 3-1 in the Supers. Pitch to Kane. Outside, 1-0. Kane flying out to center, ending the second inning. Lynch has only allowed one runner since then. It was the walk to Guzman back in the fourth. The 1-0 to the lefty. Kane takes a swing, line drive to right, Bass on his horse, dives, can't get there. Kepley backs it up, throw coming to second base. It's cut off by Vanderbrake. It lands in Madera's glove, and Kane's in with a double. Whether Bass extends or not, I don't know if it makes a difference in the double department for Kane or not, but it was a close call over at second base. The Wildcats with a runner in scoring position with one down in the fifth, trailing Carolina 3-1.
Yeah, if Bass chooses to play that on a hop, it was going to be iffy whether or not Kane took the turn at first. Him diving for it with Kepley there as backup gave Kane the incentive he needed to take the turn, hustle into second. So runner in scoring position with one down for Arizona.
8 spot due up. Tommy Splain 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's a righty. Lynch from out of the stretch, middle of the mound. Gets a swing and a miss on a slider. 0-1 the count to Splain. This has been a dangerous bottom part of the lineup for Arizona this weekend. Splain 3 for 8 so far in the series. Homered and drove in 2 yesterday in the Wildcats' 2-run win. The 0-1. Another slider. Blasted foul left of third. It's 0-2. The Tar Heels in their second elimination game of the NCAA tournament. The Wildcats in their second elimination game in 24 hours. 3-1 Heels in the fifth. One out. Kane at second after doubling to right center. The 0-2 from Lynch. Missed outside with a fastball. 1-2 the count to Splain. Breyfogle hits next. Splain and Breyfogle went down on strikes in the third when Lynch was in his rhythm. The 1-2 to the righty. To the slider. And to the dugout. Splain goes down swinging. 4th strikeout of the ball game for this freshman phenom from Jersey.
First strikeout of the second trip through the order. And Splain had been a hot bat for Arizona. That is a colossal second out for Lynch.
These sliders and fastballs are tough to read because even the fastball's got some run on it. That puts Breyfogle at the plate from the left side with 2 away and a runner at second. Heels up 3-1 in the fifth. Lynch deals. A strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to Breyfogle. Those Carolina Blue Skies are incoming from right field as Lynch sets to fire the 0-1 to the Arizona outfielder. Swinging a ground ball, rolling all the way into Vanderbrake's glove from the fringe of the outfield cut. Throw to first in time. Inning over. Kane doubles with one down. Splain strikes out. Breyfogle grounds out. And we are on our way to the home half of the fifth. Carolina's got French, Kepley, and Vanderbrake due up. That's the 9, 1, and 2 spots. The Tar Heels also continue to hold a 3-1 lead on the Wildcats from Learfield.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Carolina Athletics would like to recognize Hardison and Cochran as the presenting sponsor of Carolina's baseball season. Injured and have legal questions, call Hardison and Cochran at 919-ALL-4s. Carolina 3, Arizona 1. The Tar Heels hit in the bottom half of the 5th on their home field. Boshamer Stadium is where we are. Third consecutive day. It's the Heels and Wildcats in the Supers fighting for a spot in Omaha. One spot has been claimed by Coastal Carolina. 7 spots remain, and there's 10 teams that can make it today, Krause.
That is true, and Coastal Carolina will play the winner of this game up first on Friday in Omaha.
First pitch to the lefty Carter French. Careens inside, and it's 1-0 to the left fielder who singled and scored back in the 3rd. The bottom of the 5th is underway. The Tar Heels up by 2 runs. The second pitch to the lefty. Low. 2 balls and no strikes. Still nothing doing in either bullpen. The starters have gotten into the middle innings. The Tar Heels have the upper hand 3-1. The 2-0. French swings and bounces off the bag at first base, and it rolls into right field, but the first base umpire, Wilson Rayner, calls it a foul ball. The new change to college baseball this year is that there's 2 bases over at first. The one there's always been that rests in fair territory, and the new one that sits in foul territory. That ball must have gotten a piece of the green bag on the wrong side of the line.
Yep, struck the safety bag. That's in foul territory. It's a foul ball.
2-1 to French, drops in the zone, and that's strike 2. That's now 3 foul balls that feel like they could have gone either way, and none of them have helped Carolina.
Angelo, Stokely, and now French.
2-2 the count to French, leading off the 5th for the Heels. The pitch fouled off at the plate. That got a piece of French as he walks off the after effects. Ball rolled out to the left side of the mound on the grass between the rubber and third base. French will get all the time he needs to collect himself as the Heels lead the Wildcats 3-1 in what can only be called a Super Sunday in the Research Triangle. Carolina looking for a return trip to Omaha. Arizona looking to make it a 19th trip. Next pitch. Breaking ball outside, 3-2. French stays alive, and we'll see a payoff pitch. These are 2 programs that know the terrain of Nebraska. The payoff pitch, and French looks at ball 4 low. Carolina's got the leadoff man aboard. For the first time today, French trots down to first. The Heels look to add to their 3-1 lead in the 5th with Kane Kepley next up at the plate, 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. That's 3 walks issued by the starter, Smith Bailey. He's walked as many as 5 this year against Cincinnati. He throws over to first, and French leaps back on the bag head first. Chalk up another dirty uniform. Kepley, who usually dons the dirtiest of attire, stands into the left side. The pitch roams wide, and it's 1-0 to the Heels center fielder.
Feels like a critical spot in this game. Carolina is in front by a pair, but you get the leadoff man aboard here back to the top of the order in the 5th.
The 1-0. Breaking ball finds the strike zone, 1-1. That was dancing all over the place. before it hovered over the middle of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kepley. Flying out to center in the first. Singleton scored in the third. Another look given to the runner French, who's back in safely at first. French has been a tough guy to keep off the base paths, and the more times your 9-hole hitter can get on base and turn the lineup over, the more good things are going to happen. The 1-1. Kepley drives it the other way against the top of the net. Foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. To the native of Salisbury. Fertile recruiting territory for Carolina going back so many years. Odd stat about Kepley is that essentially nobody wanted him out of high school. Was a preferred walk-on at Liberty before he made himself into essentially a ready-made pro player whenever he wants to go. Throw back over to first. French still safe. Count to Kepley, 1-2. Nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Our score reads Carolina 3, Arizona 1. Bailey from out of the stretch. Misfires with a fastball high. 2-2 to Kepley. So many good stories on this Carolina roster. Kepley ranks right up there near the top. Here's the 2-2 from the righty to the lefty. Kepley swings and floats a fly ball to left center field. Walton on the run. No contact, no communication between he and Breyfogle, but the catch is made. And a nervy first out, as that almost caused a collision between Walton and Breyfogle.
And Breyfogle going to his left, Walton going to his right. And at the last possible moment there, Walton, the center fielder, called for it.
So some center fielder on center fielder crime brings Vandenbrake to the plate. 3-1 Carolina in the Heels half of the 5th. 1 out, French aboard after a leadoff walk. Pitch to Vandenbrake. Slap foul behind the plate. 0-1 to today's hero thus far. His 3-run homer in the 3rd has given the Tar Heels a 2-run lead. Arizona's infield has Caulfield, White, and Michalakis on the dirt on the left side. Only Splain holds the runner on the right side. Next pitch. Out of the zone, 1-1. Couldn't locate the fastball. And now peering down the right field line, a righty up and working for Arizona. The Wildcats may have somebody coming into this game soon. Next pitch. Framed by Guzman on the severe outside corner, and Vandenbrake falls behind 1-2. The pitch count for Smith Bailey is now up over 80. The 1-2. Vandenbrake whiffs on a changeup. About a half swing and a miss. Second time he's gone down on strikes, but still his home run the difference in today's game. 3-1 Carolina in the 5th. 2 outs. French still at first base. And you hear those Luke chants around the ballpark. Luke Stevenson hit next, 0 for 2.
Ball darted down and away from Vandenbrake. Swung over top of it. And now Bailey, after allowing the leadoff walk, is an out away from getting out of trouble. But 2-out hitting has been such a theme throughout this series.
3rd time through the order for the freshman. Stevenson stands ready from the left side. The pitch settles inside, a ball and no strikes to the Tar Heel backstop, who flied out to right, ending the 1st. His ground ball to second in the 3rd was that inning's 2nd out. There's 2 down in the 5th. French at first. The Heels up 3-1 on Arizona. The 1-0. Dots the inside corner, and a strike call, 1-1. The corners are playing today, Matt. It's been fair for both sides, although the Tar Heel fans don't like that call one bit.
Kevin Sweeney, the crew chief, has been good back there.
Pronounced shift on as the Wildcats expect Stevenson to pull. Next offering, that's not pulled. That's driven high to straightaway center field. Walton sets up well in front of the warning track. And out number 3 recorded after French's leadoff walk goes by the wayside. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left stranded. 5 innings complete from Chapel Hill. Lynch and Carolina return to the field in the 6th. Arizona to hit. Carolina leads 3-1 from Learfield.
This season, enjoy the winning combination of Tar Heel baseball and peanuts, grown right here in the Tar Heel State. The peanut farmers of North Carolina are proud to support the Diamond Heels again this year and remind you that peanuts are delicious and nutritious, high in protein, and contain 0 cholesterol. Peanuts are a healthy snack that can be enjoyed on the go, at home, or while you're cheering on the Heels at Boshamer Stadium. So enjoy some North Carolina peanuts today.
When it comes to your home or business, you need a plumbing and HVAC team on your side. Count on Brown Brothers Plumbing and Heating. Serving the community since 1933, our family is here to keep your family comfortable. Whether it is a leaking pipe, stopped-up drain, water heater issues, or HVAC needs, we are here for you. Our licensed professionals have the training and experience needed to alleviate your problems and get you back to playing ball. Call Brown Brothers Plumbing and Heating at 919-220-2554 or inquire at bbph.com.
Are you facing legal questions after an injury from an accident or at work? Don't wait another second. Reach out to Hardison and Cochran at 919-ALL-4s. Legal consultations come at no cost and are completely confidential. If making a phone call isn't your thing, visit lawyernc.com. That's lawyernc.com. Hardison and Cochran, your trusted North Carolina injury lawyers and proud sponsors of Carolina baseball. Dave Nathan and Matt Krause welcoming you back to the Super Regionals in Chapel Hill. Carolina 3, Arizona 1. About set to start the 6th. Top of the order due up for the Wildcats. Summerhill, Walton, and White to get their third look at Ryan Lynch. Outside of a home run allowed to Caulfield in the second, Lynch has come to play today.
Just 2 hits allowed, gave up the double to Kane last inning, but worked around it, stranded him aboard. 2-out walk to Guzman in the 4th, and he's sub 60 pitches. This first pitch to Summerhill will be his 60th to start the 6th.
It's on the way, and it's outside. Fastball misses 1-0 to the right fielder, who flied out to center in the first and grounded to first in the third. In the 6th, 3-1 Carolina. The 1-0. Good breaking ball by Lynch. Rolls over the heart of the plate, taken by Summerhill. 1 ball and 1 strike. Summerhill dons the high dark blue socks from the left-handed batter's box. The pitch. Crank foul left side. 1-2 to Summerhill. 2 for 12 in the Supers. Scored and drove in a run yesterday in the Wildcats' 10-8 victory. The 1-2. Fouled off again the other way. Still a ball and 2 strikes. For as big a swing as there was between Game 1, where Carolina won 18-2, to Game 2 where the Wildcats won 10-8, this has been pitching and defense today. The 1-2. Just high on the take. 2-2. Again, you just never quite know what you're going to get when you come to the ballpark. History can very rarely be used as a guide.
Every day is different.
The 2-2 to the lefty. Summerhill grounds to second. Clean play by Vanderbrake. And the throw to first is the first out of the inning.
Activity starting in the Carolina bullpen. A potential second straight appearance by the right-hander Aiden Houck. Houck up and tossing for the Heels.
Coach Forbes said everybody was available after the game yesterday. So far, so good for Lynch. The Heels up 3-1 in the 6th. Walton at the plate with the bases clear and 1 down. First offering. Fastball rides across the black outer half. 0-1 of the center fielder, who's popped out and fouled out to Hunter Stokely. Carolina still shifts around to the left side. The 0-1. Same spot, same call. Strike 2. Walton in a 0-2 hole with 1 down in the 6th. The Wildcats trail the Tar Heels 3-1. Lynch fires again. Weak tapper back towards the mound. Lynch bare hands, pats the glove, throws low. Stokely digs with the backhand. Got him. If you're going to play on the mound at Carolina, you had better field your position. Lynch got the memo, and he got his man. 2 down.
And a great pick at first by Hunter Stokely. The infield defense has been phenomenal for the Tar Heels all day. And yet another ball driven into the ground by Arizona that does not turn into a hit. So many of those the last 2 days. The Wildcats do not have a single ground ball hit this game.
Mason White next up with 2 down and nobody on. Heels up 3-1. Lynn starts him off with another strike. 0-1. He begins backwards. to White, who struck out and flied out today, 0 for 2. Wind is picked up, blowing to left. The 0-1. Inside, and look out. Fastball moves him off the plate. 1-1 to the Arizona shortstop. Carolina took a 3-1 lead in the third on Vanderbreek's home run. Nobody scored since. The 1-1. Fly ball the other way to left. French on his horse, racing towards the line, near the bullpen. Reaches up to glove, out number 3 on the brown warning surface. It's another tidy 1-2-3 inning for Carolina defensively. Lynch and his teammates come off the field, still ahead on the scoreboard. 3-1 from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Lynch has gone a career-best 6 innings so far, with Carolina up 3-1 on Arizona. Tar Heels back to the plate in the bottom of 6 with Gallagher, Stokely, and Madera due up. That's the middle third of the Tar Heels order. Smith Bailey, not a bit player in today's game. Matt made the mistake to Vanderbreek, who hit the 3-run homer in the third. He's been really good on the mound today, but the Tar Heels just a little better, up 3-1.
And the difference between Bailey and Lynch is the pitch count. Bailey's at 85 pitches, and he will begin this 6th inning throwing pitch number 86. Through 91 last week against Cal Poly. Season and career high, since he's a freshman, 101 at BYU back on April the 19th. So 1 inning, maybe 4 more outs for Bailey.
Gallagher stands ready from the right side to begin the bottom of the 6th. Here we go. First pitch. That's tattooed. Blasted. High to left field. To the track. And it goes to die in the glove of Breifogel. Gallagher got another huge swing on a ball that just tailed off and withered for a long first out in the 6th.
That kind of day for Gavin Gallagher. The contact has been there, especially on the line drive in the 2nd. But everything's just finding an Arizona glove today after it felt like opposing gloves were immune to anything off of his bat for a while.
And there's no wind to help that fly ball out as Stokely next up to the plate. First pitch, that's hit hard and past the shift. The second baseman Caulfield was playing in right center, and even he couldn't snare that. Stokely's aboard for the second time with his first base hit. Carolina's got a 1-out runner in the bottom of the 6th, looking for more, up 3-1 on Arizona.
Well, Stokely hit it in the direction of the shifts, but just a smidge to the right of Caulfield's and on a line sharply in the air. And Caulfield got over, but not quick enough.
Madera 1 for 1 with a walk and a single at the plate from the left side. Bailey's first pitch, a strike on the inner half. Fastball makes it 0-1 to the heel shortstop. Madera has hit safely in all 3 games in the Supers. He's riding a 4-game hit streak in total. The 0-1. Low, Madera puts up the stop sign, tells Stokely to stay put. 1-1. I'll tell you what, Adonis Guzman has not just gotten it done at the plate, he's gotten it done behind the plate. Big-time prospect as Arizona's backstop. The 1-1. Madera hits over to first base, fielded by Splain. Throw a little high to second base. Stokely safe. The ball rolls into left center field. Stokely still running, and he's standing at third on the game's first error committed by Arizona. Splain wanted to go 3-6-3. It goes E3, and the Tar Heels are at the corners with one down in the sixth, up 3-1.
And not only did Splain not complete the throw to second cleanly, he didn't step on the bag at first. Arizona got nothing on that ground ball where they thought they were going to get two.
Wildcats, second best fielding team in the Big 12, 26th best in the country, coming to Chapel Hill, commit a crucial error, and the door is cracked for Carolina to continue here in the sixth, up 3-1. Tyson Bass to the plate, and a chat on the mound. It's the second time Arizona's had a mound meeting today. It's the first one of this inning. And if you're Smith Bailey, you've done virtually everything right. The Tar Heels have just 5 hits today. But the 51st error on the season for Arizona has given the Tar Heels a big glimmer. Already leading by 2, 3-1 in the home half of the sixth. For Splain, that's just his 7th error this year. Mound meeting breaks up. Everybody goes back to their spot on the field. And the field looks like this. Stokely, who singled, is at third. Madera, who reached on the air, is at first. There's one down. Bass 0 for 2 at the plate with the Heels up 3-1. The pitch. Fastball sails inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Bass. Tyson's 3 for 10 against the Wildcats as Bailey whips the throw over to first base. Madera back in time. Bass did ground into a double play back in the second. The Heels would like to avoid a similar fate here in the sixth. The 1-0. Strike on the outer half, 1-1. The shift is on, so the right side of the infield, Matt, it's wide open. There's tons of space if Bass wants to push one the other way. Both runners have their leads. The 1-1. Inside and off speed. 2-1 of the Tar Heels outfielder.
Space galore on the right side. If he can stay back and send it the opposite way, it's rolling through into right.
3-1 Heels in the sixth. Throw to first gets Madera diving back in safely. Stokely over at third. The inning has gone like this. Gallagher drove a long fly ball to left, but it was caught. Stokely, he singled to right. Madera reached on an error. The 2-1. Bass hits that on the ground softly over to short. Scooped up by White. Flips to Caulfield. The throw to first. It's in time. And there's the repeat Carolina didn't want to have happen. 6-4-3. Bass rolled over it and grounds into the twin killing. And this game stays 3-1 in favor of Carolina. On to the seventh. Lynch back to work for Carolina from Learfield.
Touchdown! On game day, there's nothing like tailgating, touchdowns, and Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea goes down smooth and tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Cool, refreshing, and a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Like a walk-off home run to beat your rival, or the play you can remember like it was yesterday. Penn Station East Coast Subs fuels your passion for greatness. With a menu featuring an array of mouth-watering grilled submarine sandwiches, fresh-cut fries, and hand-squeezed lemonade, let Penn Station Subs make every day feel like game day. Penn Station East Coast Subs is happy to serve you with 6 locations right here in the Triangle. Come see us in store or order online. Penn Station East Coast Subs. It's all about good taste.
Carolina Baseball is presented all season long by Hardison and Cochran. Injured and have legal questions? Call Hardison and Cochran, 919-ALL-4s.
The seventh inning comes with a peanut fact of the game, and that's brought to you by the Peanut Growers of North Carolina. Peanuts contain 7 grams of protein, 3 grams of fiber per serving, and 19 other vitamins and minerals. Peanuts, they're locally grown, affordable, and a versatile ingredient that's a great source of plant-based protein and always a hit. NC Peanuts are a proud supporter of Tar Heel Baseball. Visit aboutpeanuts.com to learn more. Dave Nathan, Matt Krause in Bessemer Stadium for Carolina baseball. The Tar Heels lead Arizona 3-1 in the top of the 7th. The Wildcats at the plate with Guzman from the right side. Lynch fires, and the first pitch lifted to shallow center field. Vandenbrink, the second baseman, is called off by Kepley, still charging in, and the center fielder makes the catch not too far off the dirt on that green grass downstairs on Bryson Field. Another efficient one pitch and one out for Lynch and the Tar Heels, who hold a 3-1 lead. And goodness, Matt, the door was open back in the 6th with runners at the corners and one down. Bass hits into a second double play.
Door's been open a couple of times for Carolina, but Arizona has kept this a 2-run game.
Mikalakis at the plate from the left side takes a first pitch strike down the middle. 0-1 to the third baseman from Tucson. Couple of flyouts today, both to Bass in right field. 3-1 Heels in the 7th. The 0-1. Punched foul off to the left. 0-2 to Mikalakis. Tar Heels play with a slight shift. Madera just left of second near the outfield cut. Gallagher well off the bag at third. The 0-2 from Lynch. Above the letters on the outer half. Ball 1. 1-2 to Mikalakis with one away and nobody on base. In the top of the 7th, the Wildcats trail the Tar Heels 3-1 in a must-have game. Next offering. Missed outside and not by much. 2-2. All of a sudden it feels like the strike zone, Matt, has tightened.
It's tightened a bit on the outside corner to lefties. Lynch trying to start that slider away and dump it in. Didn't get the call. 2-2 now.
Pitch clock inside at 10. Lynch fires. Fly ball. Left field. French traipses back. Gravity does its thing. It always does. 2 down. 7 in a row set down by Lynch after the Kane double back in the 5th. And Caulfield, who homered back in the 2nd, is at the plate 1 for 2. His other AB resulted in a ground out to Madera. When he let off the 5th, we continue in the 7th, 3-1 Carolina. In Game 3 of the Supers, the winner to Omaha. The pitch. Fastball. Dots the zone. 0-1 to the Arizona second baseman. Caulfield with that homer has hit safely in all 3 games in Chapel Hill. The 0-1. Strike 2. Another take on a fastball. Lynch out in front of Caulfield, 0-2. The wind has picked up, blustering the flags in center towards left. Heavier cloud cover coming in from right. The 0-2 just got a piece of it to Caulfield on a half swing. Lynch went to that bread and butter slider, wiping out from the righty. And Caulfield, a glancing blow, stays alive just barely. Fans continue to hang on every motion inside Bessemer Stadium. The 0-2 to Caulfield. A little high. Lynch frustrated. A ball and 2 strikes. Should Caulfield reach, Kane would be next. If not, we stretch. Angelo French Kepley do it for the Tar Heels in the bottom of 7. Our score reads 3-1 in favor of the Heels. The 1-2, that's strike 3. That's looking, and that's inning over. Wow. Are we witnessing a performance for the ages today or what? Freshman Ryan Lynch, through 7 innings, has allowed 1 run on 2 hits. And he's got the Tar Heels back to the dish in the bottom of the 7th with maybe a new man on the mound for Arizona. Score still stays 3-1 in favor of the Tar Heels. That was undoubtedly Carolina baseball from Learfield.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
It is that time again. Basketball camps are back, and young men who will be in 6th or 7th grade during the 2025-2026 school year can apply for a scholarship through their local electric cooperative to attend the UNC basketball school this month. Apply online at ncelectriccooperatives.com/sportscamps. North Carolina's electric cooperatives, building a brighter future for people and communities across the Tar Heel State. Carolina's got a 3-1 lead on Arizona. We begin the bottom half of the 7th with a new man on the mound for the Wildcats, Matt Krause.
It's Julian Tongini. We have not seen him pitch over the course of this Super Regional. Senior right-hander from New Canaan, Connecticut. Began his college career at Boston College, then to Indiana. First year at Arizona for Tongini. 22nd appearance, 4-2 record, of 4.44 ERA. 24 and a third innings of work, 23 hits, 14 runs, 12 earned. 14 walks to 43 strikeouts. Opponents hit .237 against the right-hander, who has some history with the Heels.
The lefty Angelo leads off the bottom of the 7th. First pitch, little chin music. Slamming Sammy turned into tap dancing Sammy. Getting out of the way of trouble. 1 ball and no strikes. Tongini comes set, first base side of the rubber. The 1-0. That's high, 2-0. The history with Tongini in Carolina is as follows, Matt.
They closed out 2 Boston College victories here at Boshamer Stadium in 2023. Picked up a save and a 9-8 BC win in the series opener, and then was on the mound as BC wrapped up a 6-2 win in the Sunday game of that series.
2-0, fastball. Misses high, 3-0. As fate has it, that BC series 2 years ago was the last time Carolina lost back-to-back games in this building in the same series against the same team.
That's correct. Back-to-back home losses earlier this year, but they were about a week and a half apart against Stanford and UConn.
3-0 the count to Angelo. Strike between the letters and the belt. Mid-90s fastball moves it to 3-1. That's the score. Carolina 3, Arizona 1. Bottom of the 7th, Angelo leads off for the Tar Heels. French behind him, then it's Kane Kepley. The 3-1 from the righty to the lefty. Strike call on the outer half. A fastball registers, 3-2. Wynn still hustling at the flags to left as the infield shift plays deep in right center for the second baseman, Caulfield.
Tongini on the mound, Guzman behind the plate. Call that irony.
Payoff pitch to Angelo. Swing and a foul ball. Steps out, tightens the gloves, and stands back in. Angelo's glasses were all sorts of fogged up late the other night. Hopefully he can see this one clearly. The payoff pitch. Fastball swung past and missed for strike 3. Second time Angelo has gone down on strikes today. He's 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Tongini records his first out. 1 away in the 7th for French. Final numbers on Smith Bailey goes 6 innings. That's the 4th time he's gone that deep in a game this year. Gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, walk 3, and K'd 4. So with all hands on deck today, only 3 total arms have been used as the Tar Heels lead 3-1 in the 7th. Pitch to French. Elevates and misses upstairs. 1-0 to the lefty. Tongini, first arm used out of the pen today for either side. Ryan Lynch has gone 7 strong for the Heels. The 1-0 to French. Fastball sits low. 2-0 to the Tar Heels left fielder. Singleton scored in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. French had a career day yesterday with 4 hits, but it was the Wildcats who forced Game 3, winning 10-8 after the Tar Heels won Game 1 18-2. The 2-0. Down and in, 3-0. Tongini struggling to find the strike zone early against hitters, but he battled back to strike out Angelo for the first out of the 7th. Nobody on base. It's the Heels leading the Wildcats 3-1. Tongini on the right side of the mound comes set from out of the stretch. The 3-0. Strike on the outer half. 3-1. Barely a vacant seat in the building. Boshemer Stadium packed to the gills once again for the NCAA tournament. The 3-1 on the way to French. Knocked foul left side as it disappears behind the seats. Second time Tongini has run the count full to the Tar Heels, who have one out, nobody on, and a 3-1 lead in the 7th. Kepley on deck for the folks in Carolina blue. Tongini deals another payoff pitch. French grounds softly to third. Mikalakis playing the shift. Scoops it and throws. French running hard down the line, out by an eyelash for the second out of the inning. Mikalakis needed to be quick. He certainly didn't hurry. French has got some speed, but it's 2 down, and here's Kepley.
Both have been deep counts, but Carolina unable to get on base against Tongini. Back to the top of the order for Kepley here. Gosh, you would love another run if you're Carolina. Just keep you out of bloop and a blast territory.
Why just one, Matt?
Pile on.
Kepley's 1 for 3 with a single. First pitch. Skips away, but with nobody on base, no harm done. A ball and no strikes to the Heels center fielder. Second team All ACC this year. His first campaign with Carolina. The 1-0. Kepley blasts that high into shallow left center field. And with 3 Wildcats converging, it's the shortstop, White, who makes the play. And a circuitous 3-up and 3-down inning for Carolina at the plate. Angelo strikes out. French grounds out. Kepley pops out to short. And we go to the 8th. There has still not been a run scored since Vanderbreek's 3-run homer in the 3rd. At the time it put the Heels up 3-1. It is still 3-1 after 7 from Learfield.
Hello, I'm Ben Cochran, managing partner at Hardison & Cochran, attorneys at law. My firm helps good people in North Carolina who have unfortunately had their life turned upside down due to an injury. We help our clients by telling their story and leveling the playing field against opponents who have an army of lawyers fighting to diminish or outright deny their claim. We're ready to help. All you have to do is reach out.
Hardison & Cochran, North Carolina personal injury attorneys, 919-all-4s.
Hey Tar Heel fans, this is Dave Nathan, here to remind you that revenue generated from the sale of officially licensed Tar Heel merchandise directly supports both need and merit-based scholarships for Carolina students. Next time you're shopping for your favorite Tar Heel gear, make sure to look for the officially licensed collegiate product label before you buy. This ensures the product has been approved by the university. Be blue and true, buy licensed, fund scholarships, and go Heels.
Along with Matt Krause, Dave Nathan welcoming you back to Boshemer Stadium. Carolina baseball on full display on a Sunday in the Super Regionals. The Heels lead the Arizona Wildcats 3-1, entering the top half of the 8th. Bottom third of the order due up for Coach Hale's bunch from Tucson. Andrew Kane, the DH, to lead off, followed by the first baseman, Tommy Splain. Then it's Easton Breifogel, the left fielder. And they'll see Ryan Lynch, who's worked through this order now almost 3 times. The last 2 innings have gone 1-2-3 for the Tar Heels in the field. Kane has one of the 2 Arizona hits. He doubled back in the 5th. He flied to center in the 2nd. The pitch. Strike. Outside corner to the lefty. And it's 0-1. Tar Heels with 2 infielders on either side of second base as that sunlight beams down on Bryson Field. The 0-1. Under his elbow. 1-1 the count to Kane. Carolina leads 3-1. The the winner to the College World Series. 1-1 pitch drops in neatly on the outer half. Lynch has mixed the fastball, the slider, and the changeup to almost near perfection.
Walker McDuffie up and going in the Carolina pen now as Houck is sat down.
1-2 to Kane. That drifts outside of the left-handed bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kane, leading off the 8th. Wildcats down 3-1. Wynn shuffling the flags to left ever so slightly. Next pitch. Pulled on the ground. Stokely dives. Can't get there. It's past first and into right field. A leadoff single for Kane. And that ends a stretch of 8 in a row set down by Lynch. Kane with his second hit. The Wildcats with their third of the game. And Splain, who represents the tying run, to the plate with the Heels up 3-1 in the top of the 8th.
And Lynch has surpassed his career high in pitches. He's now at 87 over the course of this outing. Just a few days ago against Oklahoma, he fired 82. Previous career best was 83 against Clemson in the ACC title game.
Splain's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. The righty stands ready. The delivery. Low. And just low. 1-0 to Splain. Arizona's offense was defined by singles. That was their first single today and their first non-extra base hit. The 1-0. Chopped foul towards the Heels dugout, third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike to Splain, the California senior who grew up in the Bay Area. 4 total runs in the game. Carolina leads 3-1. 8 total hits. The Tar Heels have out-hit the Wildcats 5-3. Just 1 error committed by U of A. The 1-1. Fastball, belt high for a strike. 1-2 to Splain. Breyfogle on deck. Kane over at first. He led off the 8th with a single to right. Lynch stares towards the plate as he has the sign from Stevenson. Pitch clock at 5 and counting down. The 1-2. Swing and a one-hopper over to Vanderbrake, and it gets past him. He had the 4-6-3 double play ball measured up right up until he didn't. And the Heels' first error has given the Wildcats life. First and second, nobody out. Breyfogle at the plate. Oh, goodness, sometimes the easy ones are the toughest ones to turn.
That was a tailor-made ground ball, double play ball. And now you had to figure it wasn't going to be this easy. 2 on, nobody out. Stevenson's going to go to the mounds. Lynch is up over 90 pitches, and Walker McDuffie warming in the bullpen. Had arguably the bumpiest outing of his entire impressive young Carolina career yesterday.
Arizona down to its final 6 outs. Carolina had a chance to turn 2 right there and clear the traffic with the 9 spot due up next. And it didn't materialize. Kane's at second, Splain's at first. The fans are still into it. The Tar Heels are still up 3-1. And just to flash back to the Arizona error back in the 6th, that put the Tar Heels at first and third. But a double play ball by Bass couldn't help Carolina's cause that end of the inning. And so with no outs and 2 on, Arizona's got its best scoring chance of the game. Just the second time the Wildcats have had a runner at second, and here comes Coach Forbes out of the dugout. It's a slow walk over the chalk at third, onto the grass in the infield, and a call made to the righty before he gets the dirt on the mound. Ryan Lynch absolutely pitched his guts out for Carolina. His 3rd career start. He doesn't know what a small game feels like. And in the biggest game of the season, 91 pitches in, he leaves with the Tar Heels up 3-1. Both teams into the pen, and this call brought to you by your trusted and local home repair company, Triangle Home Repair and Paint. Contact them today and get your honey-do list done now. The Tar Heels have said it through the years. After a tough outing on the mound, we want to get somebody back out there as soon as possible, and Walker McDuffie gets the call today after his roughest outing of his freshman campaign yesterday. Threw 38 pitches, recorded just 2 outs, allowed 4 runs, a career-high 3 walks. Matt, we talked at the beginning of the ball game about the things that hadn't happened all year that unfolded yesterday. Arizona got a ton of hits and a ton of runs. Walker McDuffie hadn't been treated like that maybe ever in his baseball career.
Scott Forbes said a couple of interesting things after the game yesterday. Number one, he said that McDuffie was taxed. He had been throwing a lot, made a couple of appearances in the ACC tournament against Boston College and Florida State, helping wrap up those victories for the Heels, and then worked in the regional against Holy Cross and came back again, throwing 4 innings Monday against Oklahoma. And then the flip side of the coin is that McDuffie has been dazzling all year, and Coach Forbes talked about how perhaps he'll be able to turn the page quickly because the coaching staff has seen him work day in and day out throughout the year. They know more of what McDuffie is capable of than the average fan that only gets to see him take the bump with the lights on. So McDuffie comes into the ball game here for the second consecutive day, 28th appearance on the season, 3-2 record, 3.76 ERA for the freshman, 7 saves, 55 innings, 34 hits, 24 runs, 23 of them earned, 24 walks to 72 strikeouts. Opponents hit 179 against the right-hander, who perhaps will be called upon here for a 6-out save, though it is worth noting, as McDuffie is going through these warm-up tosses, Jake Knapp has jogged down to the Tar Heel bullpen. Carolina said after the game against Oklahoma on Monday that if that game had been close, Knapp would have been available for a 3-out save. You'd have to imagine it's a similar situation today.
Next 2 hitters to the plate, both lefties, Breyfogle and Summerhill. How does that factor into the thinking of Coach Forbes going to the righty McDuffie, who's got a mid-90s fastball and a big-time slider plus the changeup? 2 on, nobody out, 3-1 Heels. Zona at the plate in the 8th. First pitch, high and away from Breyfogle, who showed bunt. 1 ball and no strikes to the outfielder, who struck out and grounded out. Wildcats down by 2 runs, threatening for the first time all game. Corners creep in. Breyfogle shows bunt. The pitch, it is put down. Bunt, third base side. Gallagher fields and throws. And the ball, and Van de Break and everybody make contact down the line at first. A run scores for Arizona. And Breyfogle, the runner, is still down face first in foul territory. He got the worst of that. Time called down on the field. Splain made it to third. And another tough break for Carolina. But the concern right now is for Breyfogle, who is down, and I'm not sure if he's moving yet, still face first on Bryson Field.
Davey is moving his lower extremities. The right leg is moving, despite the fact that Breyfogle is still laying prone on the artificial surface.
Terry Joe Rosinski out of the Carolina dugout. Tar Heels' longtime trainer also standing by if needed. Breyfogle rolls over onto his back. Tosses the helmet, which rolls over the first base line behind the bag. Comes to rest upside down. Coach Hale is out of the dugout, hands on his knees over the Minnesota sophomore. Breyfogle, who had hit safely in the first 2 games, put down a perfect bunt. Score now reads 3-2. Carolina up by just a single run.
Okay, so this previous play is under review. They are looking for running lane interference. That would mean that if Breyfogle, who is now helped to his feet with the assistance of the training staff, Terry Joe and the Arizona athletic training staff, if it is determined that Breyfogle interfered with the throw over to first, he is automatically out, and both runners are returned to their previous base. The ball is immediately dead. In this case, the run would not count. That is what is being reviewed right now. There's some irony in this. Chip Hale, the head coach of Arizona, was the bench coach for for the 2019 Washington Nationals, who won the World Series. And Hale was the acting manager for Washington in Game 6 of that World Series after their manager, Davey Martinez, was thrown out challenging the video-reviewed runner interference call in that game against the Astros. So Chip Hale, in another winner-take-all game, is involved in a base runner interference review.
So here come the umpires out of the review area. Let's listen in and see what the call is. This is massive. So the call on the field is confirmed. There was no runner interference, and the score remains 3-2. Arizona's got runners at first and third. And that goes down as a bunt single. And still nobody out. Arizona single to lead off the inning. Splain looked like he was about to ground into a double play that the Tar Heels couldn't turn. Breifogel's bunt single scores a run, and the Heels are up a run in the 8th. Wildcats at first and third, nobody out. McDuffie on the mound to face off against Summerhill, who's 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch from the righty to the lefty. Off speed and just outside. A ball and no strikes. McDuffie came in the game yesterday. In the 7th, Summerhill had that squirrely RBI double. Roll past third base. The 1-0. Bashed foul the other way. 1 ball and 1 strike to Summerhill. A strikeout would play huge for Carolina in this situation, Matt.
Breifogel did end up leaving the game. TJ Adams, who came in as a defensive replacement when Aaron Walton left due to cramps on Friday, he is in the game running at first for Breifogel.
Here's the 1-1 to Summerhill. Outside, 2-1. Wind blustering to left on a cloudy, hot, warm day in Chapel Hill. Heels 3, Wildcats 1. This is as close as it's been since the Wildcats led 1-0 after 2. The 2-1. Clip the corner on the outer half to make it 2-2. Summerhill takes the count even. This crowd feels like it's gone from cautiously optimistic to nervy. Here's the 2-2. McDuffie sets up from the right side of the rubber. The pitch on the way. Swinging a foul ball at the plate. Jumps up into the hands of our home plate umpire, Kevin Sweeney. Still 2-2. McDuffie just went off speed. Stokely holds the runner Adams over at first. Splain, who reached on the air down the line at third. Kane scored. Heels up 3-2 in the 8th. Nobody out for the Wildcats as McDuffie sets to fire the 2-2. Low, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Dave, Carolina's middle infield's a double play depth. They will trade the tying run for 2 outs here.
It's top part of the Arizona order. Suffered today against Lynch. Top third, 0 for 9. Top 4 guys, 0 for 11. It's McDuffie right now on the bump as he sets to fire the 3-2. And he missed low. Checked his swing. Ball 4. Another inauspicious beginning for Walker McDuffie on the mound. Bases loaded, full of Wildcats. Splain at third. Adams pushed to second. Summerhill aboard for the first time at first. And Aaron Walton at the plate. He's popped out, fouled out, and tapped back to the mound. He never got a good feel for Lynch, who's exited. And it's 3-2. Carolina leads by a single run in the 8th. Bases loaded, full of Wildcats. Still nobody out. The corner's even with the bags. The pitch. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. 0-1 to Walton. If Carolina can get out of this and hold the lead into the bottom of the 8th, it'll be the biggest bit of wizardry that this ballpark has ever seen. The 0-1. Inside, missed with the slider, 1-1. If you're Carolina, though, you have to like the righty-righty matchup and the stuff that McDuffie's got against Walton. 3-2 Diamond Heels, up a run in the 8th. Bases loaded, nobody out. The 1-1. Grounded foul towards the Heels dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Walton. When these two met yesterday, McDuffie struck him out in the 7th. Today we're in the 8th. Arizona scored a run to draw within 1. The Heels hold a 3-2 advantage with the bases loaded full of cats. The 1-2. Fastball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, if there's one thing you can't do in this situation, Matt, you can't walk in a run. That would tie the game. That would reload the bases with the teeth of the order coming to the plate for Arizona. McDuffie's got to be around the zone here. The 2-2. Slider off the hands, floated towards the right side. Stokely comes in and makes the catch near the mound. There's 1 out. Walton retired, and everybody's still standing. Summerhill at first base. Adams at second. Splain at third. Score still 3-2 in favor of Carolina.
Step 1 of the wizardry. Now, a ground ball gets you out of the inning, but here comes Scott Forbes. It looks like Carolina may go lefty-lefty here with Mason White at the plate.
Tar Heels have 2 lefties, and Shimoleski and Boaz, that I suppose they could use. Boaz finished the game yesterday going an inning and a third. Shimoleski went 2 innings on Friday, and the Heels 18-2 win. McDuffie hands the ball off. And let's just see who comes out of the bullpen in a huge moment. Not a lefty, it's a righty. And it's an arm Carolina's already used this weekend. As recently as yesterday, Aiden Houck trots in from the pen. And it's up to the Zebulon product to try to keep this game at 3-2. Matt, you reminded me of something I did yesterday when Houck came into the game. I was shuffling through some papers. I gave myself a nasty paper cut. Of course, you came prepared. You had the gauze, the bandages, the tape. I nearly passed out in the 7th inning. You fed me full of sugar. Partner, I need you like I need oxygen.
Well, the Carolina bullpen needs 2 outs right here with the bases loaded in a 3-2 game that Carolina leads. Season on the line. Winner take all, Game 3 of the Super Regionals. Aiden Houck gets the call out of the Carolina pen. It's his 3rd appearance in relief this year. Scott Forbes said everybody was available over the course of this game. And for Houck, that means he works back-to-back days for the first time this year. First time since the Pitt Series to open ACC play last year at Boshamer Stadium when Carolina had Houck in the bullpen as a reliever regularly. 5-4 record, a 3.80 ERA, 73 to third innings of work. 69 hits, 37 runs, 31 earned, 33 walks, 85 strikeouts. Opponents hit .240 against Aiden Houck. And as we saw yesterday, it's kind of a feast or famine situation. Houck can be prone to giving up some hits. However, he also probably has the best pure strikeout stuff of certainly anybody that's available out of the Carolina bullpen. And he'll be called upon for this matchup against Mason White. 0 for 3 today, but White, the most outstanding player of both the Big 12 tournament and the NCAA Eugene Regional. Bases loaded for Arizona. 1 run already home in the 8th. 1 out after Walton pops out weakly to first.
Carolina 3, Arizona 2. These two met yesterday. White grounded to second to end the fourth, then singled off a Houck in the sixth and scored. Super Regional game number 3 between Carolina and Arizona. The season is on the line. A trip to Omaha awaits the winner. We're in the top of the 8th, and there is still so much to be decided. That's an inning that saw the first 4 reach. With Walton just retired, here we go with White at the plate from the left side. The pitch. Swing and a miss. White looked like he tried to send that back to Tucson, Arizona. 0-1 to the junior who grew up in that area. He was the 2022 Arizona 4A Player of the Year. His father, Ben, played at U of A back in the 90s. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Bases loaded, 1 away for the Cats in the 8th. Heels up a run, 3-2. Houck on the mound out of the pen. Fires the 1-1. There's a line shot left of second base, and that is into the outfield. 1 run comes in. The throw to second, and Arizona takes the lead. Splain and Adams are both in, and it's 4-3 Arizona in the 8th. Summerhill gets to second, and White lands the blow to put the Wildcats up a run late on.
The ground ball base hit. It's what we saw from Arizona all day yesterday. It's what Ryan Lynch eliminated over the first 7 innings of this game.
First time the Tar Heels have trailed since it was 1-0. Arizona scored that 1 run back in the second. The Heels led 3-1 after 3. 4-3 Cats in the 8th. Houck's pitch, the next man up, Guzman, outside, and the righty ahead 1-0. Guzman is grounded to first, walked, and flied out. 0 for 2 in the game. Tar Heel fans try to cheer on this team, aiming to get back to Omaha. Next pitch. Check swing, appeal down to first. He went. 1-1 to the catcher.
With Arizona having grabbed the lead, Casey Hintz, who worked yesterday 3 1/3 out of the Wildcat bullpen, he is loosening.
Next pitch to Guzman. That's hit towards the middle. Madera flips to Vanderbreak for 1. Throw down to first. And the Tar Heels get off the field with a 6-4-3 double play ball. Good to see Vanderbreak involved in that play. He's lifted his teammates up so many times. The Tar Heels will look to Vanderbreak to lead off the 8th. Stevenson and Gallagher to follow. Brand new game. Arizona leads 4-3 heading to the bottom of the 8th from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Carolina held a 3-1 lead from the 3rd into the 8th, but in the top of the 8th, Arizona strikes for 3 runs on 3 hits. The Tar Heels committed a crucial error, and that opened the floodgates for the Wildcats to reclaim the advantage. 4-3 our score, with Vanderbreak, Stevenson, and Gallagher due up in the bottom of the inning. New man on the mound for Arizona, Casey Hintz. Tongini goes just an inning and retired the Tar Heels 1-2-3 in the 7th. Hintz makes his second appearance in as many days. I don't know if his numbers really did him justice yesterday. Matt, 3 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs allowed, 1 walk and no strikeouts. But the Wildcats, they've got a reason to go to him in this situation.
Hintz is a side-arming guy. He's not a full submariner. He's not going to drop down on you, but he creates a very different look from Tungini. He's hard to pick up for right-handed batters, of which Carolina has a pair due up this inning. Vandebrake, then Stevenson, and Gallagher. Hintz's line yesterday, Dave, it's comparable to Smith Bailey's line today. Pitched pretty well, but gave up the 1 3-run homer to Carolina. Yesterday it was Bass. Today for Bailey, it was Vandebrake, who leads off here in this 8th inning.
One of these two teams is going to the College World Series. Which one is it, Carolina or Arizona? The winner gets Coastal Carolina on Friday. The Shots' first team to college baseball's Elite Eight. 10 teams today have a chance to clinch one of the 7 vacant spots left. Vandebrake leads off from the right side. First pitch, called a strike. 0-1. It was Vandebrake who homered in the 3rd to give the Tar Heels the lead. Can he help the Tar Heels wrangle back into this one? The 0-1. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike to the Carolina second baseman. 1 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts on either side of that big blast to left field. 4-3. Arizona up a run in the 8th. This game has been nip and tuck. 1-1. Outside. 2-1. Wind has shifted ever so slightly, directing the flags in center towards right. Hazy cloud cover. Lights on. 20 after 2 on a Sunday. The 2-1. Inside. 3-1. A base runner for Carolina represents the tying run. And the Tar Heel fans certainly haven't given up hope. My ears do not deceive me. The 3-1 outside, and there's your tying run aboard. Vandebrake drops the bat in front of the left-handed batter's box, jogs down to first, and the Tar Heels have that all-important runner aboard for Luke Stevenson, who can tie this game with one big swing. And Carolina wants to talk shop as Vandebrake, Stevenson, Coach Jackson, and Coach Forbes meet up on the right side of the Argyle strip, just left of the third base line, to discuss a big moment in the biggest game of the year. In the bottom of the 8th, Arizona leads Carolina 4-3.
8th walk drawn by Vandebrake over the course of this Super Regional.
The gamut of emotions for Jackson Vandebrake has probably spanned the globe here today. A home run to put the Tar Heels up in the 3rd, and error in the 8th. He's the tying run at first base. Carolina's got a chance to clap back. Here's Stevenson. 0 for 3 with a couple of flyouts and the ground ball to second. The pitch. Called a strike on the outer half. 0-1 to what we think is a future first-round draft pick. Stevenson, draft-eligible sophomore, trying to keep his Carolina career going. The 0-1. Popped him up left side. There's room to cover. Left fielder's playing back. Ball is still in the air, and it's caught by Breifogel. I beg your pardon, Breifogel was lifted. It's caught by the new left fielder out there for Arizona for the first out. Adams has stayed in the game.
Come in the game, the ball's going to find you. That was the case for TJ Adams, who had to take a perfect route to that ball and did so.
Vandebrake still at first, 1 down in the 8th. Gallagher next up to the plate. This has been the guy in the Carolina lineup this postseason. Most outstanding player in the regional. He got off to a 4-for-5 start in Game 1 against the Cats. The first pitch runs across the zone. Fastball, 0-1. Gallagher 1 for 5 yesterday with a run and an RBI today, 0 for 3. But he's gotten 2 big swings. Throw to first, and it's Vandebrake diving back in safely under the tag of Splain. 4-3 Arizona. The Wildcats lead by a run in the bottom of the 8th. The wind shifts back to left. Could that help Gallagher? The pitch outside of the righty. 1-1. somebody sees and hangs in the balance here. The 1-1 from Hintz. Gallagher lays off. Appeal down to first. No, he didn't go. 2-1. Fastball downstairs, and Gallagher out in front of Hintz. Supplanting Tungini out of the bullpen. Smith Bailey went the first 6 for the Cats. The 2-1. Gallagher pitch to hit, and it's bounced foul behind third base up against the bricks and rolling back into left field. 2-2 to the Carolina sophomore. Gallagher had the hit of his life last year against LIU in Game 1 of the Regionals. A walk-off grand slam sent the Tar Heels into the winner's bracket. If he could hit one here, he'd top it. The 2-2. Gallagher takes a swing and a miss. The ball got away from the catcher with a runner at first. Gallagher called out, but down to second base goes Vanderbreak. And with 2 outs in the inning, Carolina's got a runner in scoring position for Hunter Stokely. One of your best bets at the plate with 2 down in an inning.
Stokely coaxed a walk in the second, single in the 6th. A left-handed batter against the righty pitcher Hintz. Anything especially to right field that gets by the shift probably ties this game.
First pitch to Stokely. Swing, and it's lobbed foul into the seats left side. 0-1. Those aisle seats are usually pretty good. That's where the ball lands. Hintz out in front of Stoke. The second pitch, low, 1-1 strike. Vanderbreak, who took a leadoff walk, leads off a second. Hintz delivers outside. 2-1 to Carolina's first baseman. Arizona trying to hold on for dear life, up 4-3 in the 8th. The Tar Heels have 2 down. Stokely at the dish from the left side. Hintz, righty on the mound. Peeks to second before the pitch and leaves it low. 3-1 to Stokely. Madera on deck if we get that far. The Wildcats have Michalakis, Caulfield, and Kane. The 5, 6, and 7 spots due up in the top of the 9th. What do you say we hang around here in the 8th? The 3-1. High, ball 4. Second walk of the inning for Hintz. Vanderbreak at second. Stokely jogs down to first base. And Alex Madera at the plate. It was his late wizardry with the bat in last year's elimination game against LSU. Sent the Tar Heels ahead 4-3. And in 10 innings, Carolina won that game. Today, the Tar Heels are down 4-3 in the 8th. And Arizona wants to talk it over on the mound.
If you remember, Carolina was down in that game 3-2 going to the 9th. And they got the leadoff man aboard in the 9th. And Madera tried to bunt and ended up bunting with 2 strikes, and the ball rolled foul. And then he put that behind him, came back the next inning, and delivered the go-ahead single.
Madera and Hintz meet for the second time in as many days. Hintz got him to ground out yesterday back in the 5th. Today we're in the 8th. Wildcats up 4-3. 2 on, 2 down for the Heels. The pitch. Madera slams it foul on a line the other way. Over the seats left side. 0-1 to the Carolina shortstop, who's walked, singled, and reached on an error. He's been on base 4 consecutive times if you go back to a single late yesterday. The 0-1. High and away. 1-1 strike. The wind, after blowing both directions this inning, has slowed. All 3 flags atop the batter's eye in center, pointing straight down. The 1-1 to Madera. Wide, 2 balls and a strike. Play continues in the bottom of the 8th with Arizona leading Carolina 4-3. The Wildcats put up a 3 spot in the top of the inning to go from down 3-1 to up 4-3. Hintz readies to fire. Madera Smacks a hard grounder over to second base. Caulfield fields cleanly and throws to first. Carolina retired in the 8th. We go to what could be the all-decisive 9th. Michalakis, Caulfield, and Kane due up. Houck on the mound for Carolina. The Tar Heels trail Arizona 4-3 from Learfield.
Quality, affordable, dependable. The characteristics that have built the foundation for B&T Heating and Air Conditioning since opening its doors in 1988. B&T Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to serve communities across the Raleigh-Durham area from right here in Chapel Hill to anywhere in between. To schedule your heating, whole house generator, or electrical service or tune-up, visit their website at bntheatingandair.com. B&T Heating and Air Conditioning, generators and electrical. Family owned and doing it right the first time, every time.
You sit in traffic now, but later, there's an ice-cold reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. You've earned this rich golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. Because you know, all your patience is paid out in gold. You remain calm through honks, bumper to bumper, and people yelling. Come on, move! You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Carolina Baseball is presented all season long by Hardison and Cochran. Injured and have legal questions? Call Hardison and Cochran, 919-ALL-4s.
2:30 on a Sunday in Chapel Hill. Carolina and Arizona continue their battle for a spot in the College World Series. Arizona 4, Carolina 3. The Wildcats are at the plate in the top of the 9th with Michalakis to see Aiden Houck. Houck gave up the single to White, who put the Wildcats ahead, and then got Guzman to hit into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. The shift on to the right side. The pitch finds the outer half to the lefty, and Michalakis down in the count, 0-1. He's flying out 3 times today. Here's the 0-1 from the righty to the lefty. Punched on the ground over to second. Well played by Vanderbrake. And a throw has Stokely stretching off of first to claim out number 1. Part of the job done. Carolina's got to keep this game at 4-3. With the bottom third of the order due up in the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Bass, Angelo, and French. We'll see if the Wildcats stick with Hintz or go deeper into a bullpen that's seen a ton of innings this weekend.
Well, we may have a peek into what Arizona's thinking is.
First pitch to Caulfield, fastball at 94 for a strike, 0-1.
Tony Pluta, the all-Big 12 closer, 13 saves and a 1.3 ERA is up and loosening.
The 0-1 rides outside. Caulfield even in the count, 1-1. He homered back in the second to give U of A the early lead. Since then, he's grounded out and struck out looking. 1 down in the 9th for the Cats, who lead 4-3. Next pitch bounces away from Stevenson. 2-1 to Arizona's second baseman.
Now, Pluta has not worked more than 2 innings over a 2-day span this year. Went 2 1/3 yesterday.
2-1. Hit hard to deep left. French circles around and makes the catch about hip high on the warning track. Ho-ho! Carter French, no stranger to the football field, looked like he was running a route there. Makes the catch, and that's 2 down for Arizona in the top of the 9th. Kane to hit, with the folks from Tucson leading the Diamond Heels 4-3. Nobody on base. Kane's 2 for 3 with a run scored. The pitch outside and the lefty in front, 1-0. Just 5 hits for Arizona today. Kane has a double in the 5th, a single in the 8th. The 1-0, there's a strike in the 9th. Evens things up at 1-1. Michalakis grounded to Vanderbrake to begin the inning. Caulfield sent a hot liner to left for the second out. The 1-1 popped him up. Shallow left center field. Madera waiting and waiting. And now we're on to the bottom of the 9th. 3 up and 3 down. Maybe some momentum for Carolina in the field will translate to some action at the plate. The Heels' only 3 runs today came all the way back in the 3rd. The Heels will hit in the ninth, down 4-3. We'll see if it's Pluta versus Bass, Angelo, and French when we come back. A lot of marbles on the table. Omaha on the line from Learfield.
Need to refresh your UNC gear? Visit the new off-campus Tar Heel Team Store located at 120 East Franklin Street in the heart of Chapel Hill. Open Tuesday through Sunday, we offer an enhanced in-person shopping experience and carry the latest designs from Nike, Jordan, Peter Millar, and more. Stop by for an official Nike replica jersey with your favorite Tar Heels name and number. The Tar Heel Team Store is your one-stop shop for all things UNC. Mention code Carolina Baseball and receive 10% off your purchase. Exclusions apply.
When you're getting ready for the big game, make sure you have plenty of Hampton Farms peanuts on hand. Hampton Farms is based in North Carolina, just like the Tar Heels, and they specialize in producing only the highest quality, fresh roasted, in-the-shell peanuts and snacks. In addition, peanuts are one of the healthiest snacks around. They are naturally low in carbs and high in protein. So before the next game, head to your favorite store's produce department and grab a bag of Hampton Farms in-the-shell peanuts, the official peanuts of the Tar Heels.
Well, you just knew after Carolina routed Arizona 2 days ago, 18-2, the path to Omaha wouldn't be that easy. The Wildcats stormed back yesterday and beat the Heels 10-8. And a 3-run top of the 8th for the Cats has Arizona up 4-3 entering the bottom of the 9th. As expected, Arizona goes to Tony Pluta, its back-end guy, to try to close this one up. Pluta makes his 28th appearance. He's got 13 saves. He took the win yesterday, improving to 3-0. His ERA sits at 1.30. Opponents hitting 188 off of Pluta. 5'9", junior righty out of Illinois. What a find in the Midwest for the Arizona Wildcats. Bass, Angelo, French, 7, 8, and 9 spots due up to try to keep this game going for Carolina.
Tony Pluta went 2 1/3 yesterday, did not surrender a run, gave up 2 hits, walked a couple, struck out 2. He has worked on back-to-back days just twice this year, none since March, and yesterday he went 2 1/3. His largest workload in a 3-day span was 4 innings, 2-inning stints apiece in the Big 12 quarterfinals and championship.
Tyson Bass, he homered yesterday to put the Tar Heels ahead in the 7th. Today he's hit into 2 double plays, and he's flied out to right. 0 for 3 in the contest as we begin the bottom of 9. 4-3 Arizona. It's all to play for. Pluta's first pitch.